Hello everyone, and welcome back to Laurence Plays. Sorry, I seem to be running a little bit late because I'm still stuffing food into my face, but I'm virtually there, and it is a Wednesday. That means I'm running around like a headless chicken, trying to get ready for a stream after a workout, and it's time to play some Foundry. Where are my headphones? Here are my headphones. Right, let's pretend I'm actually remotely ready for this stream, shall we? So, what's happening today? What happened last week as well? Actually, that's a good question. So, last week, my main objective from last week was to set up steel processing over here in this sort of area, over near the iron blast furnace, because there's an infinite iron patch there's an infinite iron vein over here that is pulling out enormous quantities of iron, and so I wanted to pull some of that off and turn it into steel here in this row of little furnaces along here. And then we've got the big blast furnace here that's making massive quantities of iron, and all of that is running into a series of belts that are running down a very, very long tunnel all the way over here, and then coming up into the middle of the base over here. Once I'd done that, let's see, I'm starting to remember now then. Yes, I started to realise I was running short of various other things, like, it was the electronic components, I think, that were the big problem. And I reckon that was due to there was a bit of a shortage of copper, which wasn't helping. So I came back out to my copper smelting area over here and put in some additional... So I'd already built a second copper blast furnace going out this way after the first one that goes down here. And so the plan was then to take a lot of the copper that comes out of this first one over to here for green circuits, and then the rest of it, the overflow from that, is going out this way to go back up to the main factory, and then the second one is topping that up, so we then get an additional supply of it coming up this way. The big question over this is whether we're going to have enough coal coming out of this vein mine down here, and if not, then am I going to have to go out to perhaps this one or this one and bring additional coal in over this way? I'd sort of rather not, because that's another quite big piece of setup that would need to be done. However, if I'm still not getting enough electronic components along the bus here to make all of my robots, then I might need to. The other thing I was considering doing was down here, taking some of the copper that's coming out of the blast furnaces down here, and then turning it into electronic components over here, because then I can get twice as much down the belt as if it was still in the copper state, and then bring it out and push it straight into the back of, I think it's probably this row here, where I'm making the electronic components, and then shove an entire blue belt of them perhaps onto the bus. Because if we fly along here a little bit and have a look, let's see if it's still problematic, shall we? Because if it isn't problematic now, then I have a feeling it's going to be problematic again soon when I expand production a little bit further. So I suspect this big long row here is going to be making the electronic components. Yes, it is. Oh, and it seems to be just about okay. So looking at that now, all the machines are currently running, which is quite nice, and they're making an enormous quantity of the electronic components, but we do seem to just about have enough. And if I have a look over here, how fast is the copper is not flowing in absolutely solidly. So the upgrades I've been doing in the tunnels over there do seem to be enough, at least for now. So I've got a couple of choices here. One is to go off and just go, okay, good, it's absolutely fine now, we have enough, let's go and build some more robots down the end over there. Or I could go, it is enough, but I suspect it's going to become a problem again later. Let's start making enormous quantities of them over at the copper vein, and then bring them over and have them just dumped straight onto here. Or maybe even dumped on here as additional ones, and I could have, I don't know, maybe feed them in, have a second belt coming and bring them in, and so I've got double the supply. That may or may not... I don't know. I wouldn't have any belts faster than blue, so that could cause misuse. Hello, Bob. Welcome. Yeah, exactly. The electronic components are probably going to become an issue again later. Now, as I was flying along here, I did notice that the robot parts, what they call the ones that come out of here, I suspect, were also being problematic. And this is where a lot of my electronic components are going. You can see the green belt. Well, sometimes the green belt is flowing solidly, and there's some robot parts coming out here. But not really, it feels like it's not enough. Let's fly down the belt a little bit and see if it is at least backing up. It is not backing up at all. So I think I'm going to need a lot more robot part construction, which means I'm going to need, where are they? I've lost them again. I'm going to need a lot more robot part construction, which means I'm going to need a lot more electronic components. Also, there's plastic and thermalite required, so I don't really want to do this anywhere else. So here's a thought. What if I reckon on setting up an additional feed for these things? This plastic belt needs to be upgraded, and probably so to the thermalite one. But what if I set up an additional feed of those electronic components that will pop up out of the tunnel over here, and then go straight into just being used for making these robot parts, because that is, as we said, best part of a green belt going in there. So that is probably half of the electronic components that are being made at the moment, and I need to expand this quite a lot further. So if I put in maybe a second floor of this or something like that, we can bring the machines all the way back over again, and then pump in the electronic components from the other end, then I can cut this off here. That system over there is then only being used for anything else that requires them, and that's going to make things a lot easier. So I think that might be the way to go. So let's start off with that. So step 1 is going to be collect lots and lots of I was going to say, our spread is really crispy and hard to eat and talk at the same time. And I shouldn't do that anyway because it's very rude. Right. I could bring in a green belt of these electronic components, because that'd be relatively easy to run, because I've got loads and loads of green belts. I've got lots in my inventory, and there's just lots around in general. Or I could go for the blue belt and just go crazy with it. Oh yeah, there you go. Look, see, there's now a shortage of them. And we're using them up fast and they're being made, which is a little bit disturbing. So I think, yes, I think the ideal will be to get, let's go off, let's just go full on and make an entire blue belt of electronic components, even though that's going to mean 2 blue belts of, that's going to mean basically all of the copper that's spare left over coming out of the copper patch over there, copper blast furnace over there, and make as many as we can, shove them down a blue belt, shove them in here, double or triple these machines, at least certainly double, and then see how we get on from there. Then maybe after that I'll be able to actually make some more types of robot. But don't hold your breath. There's a lot of stuff needed. The other question is, if I brought remotely all the things I'm going to need with me to do this. I've got 50 assembler 3s, that's a good start. So, over here, we have lots of belts being fed into this thing. I'm going to need 2 blue belts worth to be taken away from here, so that's this one, and then this one, and probably that one as well. And that will leave us with only 2 green belts being fed into here. But if I'm taking away all of the demand on the copper, that might not be a serious problem. So let's try it, see how it goes, and then panic later. Yes. So we'll lay out some foundation here first, just to sort of to get an idea of the lay of the land, as it were, and to start sketching things out. So this first belt, this is a green one. We'll bring that along here, and then we'll bring the blue belt along here. And we'll run off the blue belt first, then we'll run off the green belt, and then we'll load it all onto one blue belt as it comes out of the other end. And that won't be quite enough, but it'll be a good start. So, let's get started. I'm going to need an I'm going to need to remember how to play this game first. I'm going to need an assembler. And you are going to make copper cable. I've been playing Factorio, and therefore I'm double-clicking things more, but without thinking about it. Then we have this, which is going to make electronic components. And we need a second one of these, if I remember the ratio correctly. So you're producing 160 a minute, and you're producing, and you're taking in 40. And we're running out of electricity. Joy! Or at least we might be. We're running out of electricity here. That is not the same as running out of electricity in general. Batteries are charging nice and quickly. Okay, I need another. Let's put in another transformer before we get too far with this, because we clearly need it. Where is my first transformer for this area? It's probably over here. I feel like it makes sense to put them together. It doesn't actually matter as far as the game is concerned, I don't think. Oh, there it is. But I feel like it makes sense to have them nearby, just because then they're sort of tidy. So I'll put another one of those here. Boom, like that. And then we can cable it in. Boom, like that. Alright, where was I before I was so rudely interrupted? Oh yes, I was looking at numbers and going, hang on a minute, that's not right. Because if we look down here, this is producing 160 wire coils per minute, and this is taking in 80. Okay, no, I was looking at the wrong number. Okay, I was looking at that number, not that number. So it is 1 to 2. Good. I haven't I haven't screwed up with every single other electronic component build I've done around the entire rest of the factory. Hello, regular. Welcome. Okay, so we do that. Then we have another belt running along here, and this can be as slow as you like. It doesn't matter because it's only actually taking stuff from there to there. But we'll link them all together just for funsies. And we're going to have an exerter there. Like that, and then an inserter there and there, followed by an exerter there and there to take the actual cables away. No, the electronic components away. And this one needs to be a blue belt because we're going to be putting a lot onto this. Well, we're going to be ideally we're going to be putting 3/4 of a blue belt onto it for now, but there may be further upgrades later. So we have that for the output. And then over here, we need copper cables at both stages of the input. So we then would come along here and I put in an inserter there and there and there. Right, that is now going to produce a quantity of these things. It'd help if I set this recipe on here. You're making electronic components. Right, so splash. Right, over here, we can see that this is going to be taking in 80 rods a minute. This is taking in 40, so we're taking in 160 per minute, and our blue belt is bringing 1280 a minute. So I can have eight copies of this off that one, and then another 4 off that green belt. Oh, my control key was stuck. That's why it was being weird. So let's get out the copy paste-o-matron. I would like to. Oh no, I'm already on select area because I've loaded. Excellent. Right, so from there to there is what? Try again. Use the mouse properly, Laurence. From there to there to there is 1, and we need 16 of these, really. So I'd like to copy and place. Okay, it might be time to go out and put in some more more thingies, more solar panels then. We'll have another look in a moment when I've done this. So 1, 2, okay, it counts for me. $16. Now 16 is possibly excessive, but I'd rather have too many than too few, you know it is. So we're going to do bring this up, and I would like to demolish the terrain. Boom, just like that. Lovely. I'd like to demolish the decor, which probably won't work, but never mind. I'll demolish some decor, actually. And the trees fall into the whole area. Let's confirm the paste, and then we'll go in and pop the trees that are in the way. And then we'll realise I've run out of assembly machines by the look of it. So you are not supposed to be there. You are not supposed to be there. Are there any other suspicious holes? Yeah, because mushroom problems over here. Get rid of all of this. Giant mushrooms, always in the way. What can you do? Shoot them with a laser. Oh, fill up your inventory with stuff. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to put down a resupply tower because I haven't put one down over here yet, as far as I can remember. So I'll put you there and then plug you in like this. There we go. That'll take 5 minutes to heat up and get ready to go. And I'm probably not going to get the assembly machines anyway because they're probably not being fed into a what's name tower. But at least I can be resupplied with some of the stuff that I'm going to need for this build. Anyway, let's carry on. Oh, I still haven't got the inventory space to shoot trees, have I? Okay, you know what? I can probably come along here and I can, in this machine, I can dump 200. Oh, okay, I know why I've got so much of those. And oh, I've got loads of wood. That's part of the problem. I'm sure I saw, yes, those. You can put them in there, and they'll disappear fairly quickly. Maybe they'll disappear. Maybe they won't. Oh, I've got ridiculous amounts of copper. Okay. Well, conveniently, I can dump that into all of these machines like this, and they can just start running because why not? I don't know why I've got so much copper. Maybe I've been pulling up boxes of something or something like that. I don't remember. It was last week. My memory doesn't last that long. But now I can shoot this tree. And I can shoot this tree. And I can fly along here and go, that looks okay now. Let's try the paste again. So, confirm paste. And it will tell me that I've run out of... Huh. It's the load... No, it isn't. I have in fact pasted everything. Excellent. So that is now... It's twice the size it needs to be for the belt that I'm about to put, belt of copper that I'm about to put into it. But we're about to put in a bit more, and then things will get exciting. So if I remove that, and then you can go in there, and remove that, and you can go in there. Lovely. So I'll pour down there. I need to find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here is where we need to pull up that and have it go in there. I'll probably pull up that as well, because I don't expect the copper to get this far unless we fill up demand. Right, so there we go. We've now got copper coming in here as well. All of these should, well, no, 3/4 of these should kick in theory. And then the remaining quarter at the end here won't have enough copper to kick in, but that's absolutely fine. We'll worry about that later. Hello, Peter. Hello, Board Easy. Welcome. You've not missed too much. Basically, I came over here. I started off over here. I was still stuffing my face. I said last time I built up a load of extra. I built up some steel. I got more copper flowing from here. Oh yes, but I was running out of electronic components. So let's build more electronic components, and that's what's going on here at the moment. Right. So I'm going to dig out a 3x3, I think here. 1, 2, 3. Actually, let's go this way as well a bit, and this way, and this way. And actually, that's a bit much. Let's do. Why are we in vertical? I have no idea. Let's do that. And right, and I want to take out a bit more here. 1, 3, like that. Then I can put in an elevator matron here, and then I can try and work out desperately where the other end of that elevator is going to go. Let's throw those away. Yes. Elevator, 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 elevator. There it is. That one. So I want a top here, please. Boop. And then, just out of curiosity, how close am I? Oh, I'm fairly close to this, to here. So we would like to have another elevator at about 179 minus 672. You know, I might just dig straight down from here. I think that's going to be the easiest way, because I'm going to want to run power down there anyway. So I can now, if I now extend this belt 1 square further like that, and I can then put in a short inserter there, and that'll load the elevator up. And I can dig a hole straight down here and then go over and find the tunnel. So let's go down. Can anyone remember what height my tunnels are normally at? I think it's 89. Let's assume I'm right, which is probably foolish, but I'm going to do that anyway, because it's not that big a deal if I'm wrong. I'm nearly there anyway. 89. Right, and if I go this way, I should punch out into my tunnel really quite quickly. Yeah, 89 feels very familiar, doesn't it? And I haven't got to the point where the tunnel should be yet, so I don't know if I'm wrong. It is still possible that I'm right. Yeah, there we go. Boom, 1 tunnel. Just as predicted. Gosh, I remembered a thing. Don't expect that to happen again. For my next trick, I shall completely forget where the anything is supposed to be. Right, okay, so the elevator's off to the left. If I get this tool and go from here to wherever it'll go, well, that'll do. And then from there to there. And, oh yeah, turn on my drones. How do you do the mining thing? There we go, so it's a slightly bigger hole, and now I can put in some of these, and this needs to be vertical drag mode again, and go from there, bonk, oh, to there, I'll leave it there for the moment while I dig out to the left, which is where the elevator is meant to be. Well, I'll use this one because it just seems slightly safer. I don't know. Safer is not the right word, but differenter. One. Boom. Boom. There we go. And then go this way. Boom. 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 Oh, okay. No, it's this way. Okay. Fine. Be that way. There we go. There's my elevator. Right. And now I can put in the bottom end of the elevator here, which will be, yes, a bottom like that. There we go. And then back over to this tool, down to 1 by 1, and then I can dig a trench around here, just like this. And then bring that down from there to there, back over to horizontal mode, fill in the gaps, boom, like that. Then I can stick in an inserter there and actually make it an exserter. And then I can go, you know what, I should have made this a 3 high tunnel. Let's make it a 2 by 2, a 2 by 3. So I'll switch over to this guy, and I'd like to go from here to here with a height of 3. And just like that, hot knife through butter. These bots are amazing now to have upgraded them. I'm really happy with that. And I'll take this bit out just for sake of tidiness. Then I can go back over to this thing and go, well, I've got 208 blue belts left. It's not going to be enough, but I'll run it to here anyway. And then I'll try and work out how I'm going to get it into the tunnel. It's quite a full tunnel. It's mostly full of coal. Now, in theory, once this gets out there, I won't need as many belts of copper running along here. But at this stage, that's not much of a reassurance, because I still need to get the belt out into the tunnel somehow. I think the best way to do this is going to be to just go underneath and then pop up over there and trundle down above the concrete belt over there. So let's do that. In order to do that, that's going to mean a hole like this. And you know what? I'm going to dig a big enough hole for me to go through as well, because I want to, and otherwise I don't know how I'm going to get myself out of this hole. And a bit of personal mobility is always useful. Hello, Mark. Welcome. Yeah, I agree that a bit of planning is usually a good idea. I certainly won't argue with that. And I tend to think, I think that's why I've sort of worked out roughly how many belts worth I'm going. I'm going to make sure this is going to be a full belt as it goes through, but I'm not going to work it out. I'm not going to work out exactly how many I need down the other end, because that is going to change. And when it does change, well, who's to say what's going to happen? Oh yeah, and I need to. Oh no, I can get out here. That's fine. At least if I make this hole a bit bigger, like that. Right, so from over here, we want to take you, and we want you to come to there, and then down one, across here to there, then up 2, then out to here, and then straight on till morning. The problem is, I'm not going to have enough blue belts to go straight on till morning, because from here, where am I? Where even am I? How do I? I don't know. You know what? Let's turn the grid on. Grid is there. That button. Are these 10s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, these are a lot more than 10s. These are. So at the moment I'm at 670. So these are 30s. Okay, so from here I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 times 30. Call it 20 times 30, that's 600. I don't have 600 blue belts. However, I think I can get 600 blue belts. That isn't an insurmountable number. So let's head back over to that magic tower I just placed and see what I can get. So we have a logistics teleport tower over here. So if I fly over this way, I can say, actually, I don't want that to be 500. I want that to be 1,000. Set. And then My inventory, there we go, is magically now starting to fill up with blue belts. As it does. So that's really useful. While I'm standing around here waiting for that to fill up, let's do some tidying up. Let's get rid of all of the wood, because wood is nonsense. I don't want any of that. I'm filling up automatically to 200 electronic components as well, which is fine, I guess, in case I need to pocket craft anything. I did set it up to do that sort of thing, but still, yeah. Can't get more freight elevators brought over. Never mind, I've got enough for the time being. I don't need a smattering of coal, that's just nonsense. We'll get rid of that. I mean, it'd be mildly useful if I'm going to use the boring machines, but I'm probably not particularly soon. I have a fracking tower base for some reason. These things are just taking up space in my inventory, which is a bit silly, but oh well. And I've got some copper as well, which is another one of those things that should be filling up in my inventory, I think, but doesn't seem to be. Oh yes, because I hadn't managed to get it into a logistics chest, that's why. Yeah, the 6 technum rods might as well go. There's no point in having those. There's not enough of them to be useful for actually building anything. And I've got the electronic components, which will help in potentially as well. Right, so there we go. Got 400. We're about almost halfway there with those. The rest of this feels fairly tidy. Not doing too badly there, I don't think. Right, so the big decision to make is where to feed these things in. So I think I've pretty much decided. I'm going to turn off, well, I'll feed them in the back end of this, which means they won't get used, in theory they won't get used, but if there's any sort of crisis down here for whatever reason, then we can make them on site if we need to, and there's no point in pulling that out, I don't think. So I think that's probably sensible. Another alternative, which I may end up deciding to use later, will be to bring that through as a second belt, so we can have twice as many. We can have a blue belt and a whatever, but we'll see how that goes. Also, I don't want to disconnect my... Oh, what's the range on that thing? I don't know. Let's stay over here for a bit longer. I don't want to disconnect all of the copper that's being pushed into here, and therefore starve the main belts going through here, at least until I stop pulling it off here. So at the moment, we've got one blue and one green belt coming out onto here to be made into the electronic components. As you can see, most of the machines have stopped because the system all the buffers are filled up because the belt doesn't go anywhere yet. But in the long run, that's not going to be enough. So I'm probably going to come back at some point. What's the range on these things? That's the range on these things. There we go. Right, okay. So I'm going to come back at some point and steal another green belt of copper from over there and pipe that in over here and turn this into a blue belt, because I reckon I'm going to need that much throughput along here. Well, I am going to need that much throughput along here to turn this into a solid blue belt, which is what I want to do. And when I've fed this all the way to the other end, I'm not going to need anything like as much going into there, because there'll be a lot less demand on the other end. Right. You may be right, buddies. Yes, it may be that the map chunks are 32, which would be sort of satisfying. Except everything seems to work up to 34, which is a strange number, and I don't know why. I don't know why they've chosen that number. Right, so I have my 1,000 blue belts. I'm just now topping up on Foundation, which is where I'm going to try and get 2,000 of it. I think that's okay. We'll call that enough. I don't need enormous quantities of Foundation because I've built this thing already. So I think we're probably okay. Let's go back over here. Drop down the hole and get building that belt. So down here, la 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 la, down the tunnel, under here, because this is a ridiculous system. The system for bringing stuff down the tunnel is quite nice. The system of me getting in and out of the tunnel and actually adding anything onto it is less nice. Right, so we now make a blue belt from here, straight on till morning, basically. We would like to go, yes, along here. Oh, of course. I was going to be really smooth and just tap R as I was going, so to build it even further. But I forgot you have to stop running to do it, to press R, because my computer will not, either the computer or the game will not accept Shift and R at the same time. Maybe Shift R is a separate shortcut. Why do I keep falling out of the sky? It's not because I've run out of fuel. Is there something I'm standing on, or I'm bumping my head on the? It might be because I'm bumping my head on the pylons in the ceiling. Right, okay, I'm nearly there. It's coming out on the south side, so I want to break through about here. That's good. That's some impressive judgment. And I'm going to claim it was entirely deliberate and not remotely luck. So we want a hole that goes from here. We'll make it 2 wide again, and we'll go out. We'll go out 10, and we'll dig it that big. Hot knife through butter, as we say. Right, and then this belt needs to come from there. It needs to come through here, and you know what? We'll go to here, and we'll drop down to what I'm rather arbitrarily calling floor level. There's no real good reason for that now I think about it, but it just seems like the right thing to do. Then I will cut out a space from here, and it will be 4 by 4 by 4. Yeah, a cube. Why not? Let's have a cube. And then I can put in the bottom of an elevator. Oh, actually no, I didn't need to cut that much out. There should be rock across here for me to put the bottom of the elevator on. Oh, we're on bottom already. There we go, like that. And then across here we have foundation, so we can power the inserter, which is going to go here. And then we get the laser out and we go upwards. In fact, this is going to want to... Oh, I'm going to need a second hole here, but it's going to be easier to dig a 1 by 1 and then another 1 by 1 than it's going to be to dig a 2 by, I think. A 2 by 1. I've hit a mountain, haven't I? I'm going to pop out way above the ground. And that's okay. I can... When I escape like that, I can then come over here and go, okay, well, I'm going to backfill a little bit. So this is... Oh, they come out on the other side. Oh, well, never mind. This is the electronic components center. Yes, it is. So, they come out here. So I'm going to want to have a tunnel. Or no, I'm going to want a space for the belt to go, which goes this way. So I can do 38, apparently. I do not know how this game decides on appropriate numbers. But it has some numbers. I have no idea where they come from. So we can come through here. And then keep going until we hit that, basically. And then we can have a corner. In fact, what I should have done, of course, is dig this trench first. And then put in the elevator going down from here. Maybe I'll actually do that in any way, because that would be better. Have I got to the right point? I mean, there isn't necessarily a right point as long as I haven't gone too far. Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. So let's start the elevator again. Where am I now? I am quite close to the... Actually, yeah, this will do. So now I can go back down. In fact, you know what I should do? I should dig all of this out to 1 square lower and run foundation along here. That'd be smart. No. Click and drag. There we go. Because then I can run foundation from here all the way in this way, and then I don't have to worry about trying to find power or putting in another transformer to get power along here. So that can go like that. Then we can have our elevator in here. So I would like a space that is 4 by 4 by 3. And I'd also like to dig out a trench along here for my foundation, like that. Pull a couple of pieces out here at the end, and then I would like to. Can I do this with the mining drones? This never seems to quite work. I want to go from there to there, and then down 30 something. What am I, 132? Okay, so yeah, that'll be okay. I can do that, drop in the hole. These do the hard work for me. And then when I get down to basically, basically 90, I can then do the last bit of it by hand. Like that. And accidentally overshoot slightly, never mind. Right, so my elevator is going to be about here. I haven't put the elevator in at the top. Let's do that first and try and get things in the right order. Right, so try again. I want to put in an elevator top here. The other way, like that, but the other way around, like so. And then I'm going to want to take this stuff down with me. So let's put you there, switch to vertical mode. So from there, fall. There we go. Bonk. Down to there. And then, yes, there we go, spot on. I actually managed to get my positioning correct. That's amazing, that never happens. So now I can get the bottom end of my elevator and put it in here. And those will start joining themselves together. Then it's just a case of a little bit of creative digging work. Like that. And actually, you know what, let's just take this. Yeah, we'll have a 1x2 going out from here. So select you to there. And then, I don't know how far it is. There we go, just like that. And I can come over here and I can actually take you out. I heard 2 remove. Oh, it's okay, so not a piece of belt. It's fine. So you go to here, then down to here, and across to here. I'll put that in a second. In the meantime, we'll take out there, there, and there. Foundation goes from. Whoop. Is it that? Is that the foundation? Yes, that's the foundation. From there to there. I might need a little bit more space here to move around in. That's not gonna work. Okay, let's try this again, but with slightly less fail. So we'll knock out a bit of this. This is going to be a little bit ugly. I apologise for the sudden and completely expected spaghetti. Right, there we go. And you know what, that might as well be in there and there as well, just so we don't have holes to fall in. Then that can go there, and then we put in an inserter like that. Right, and then I go, how the hell do I get up here? With difficulty is the answer. I feel like I want to move all of this another square that way, just so I can get to here a bit more easily. But hopefully I'm not going to be going up and down here an awful lot. I also want to come in over here and dismantle all of this stuff, because this is not going to be happening anymore. This is all a mistake. Never mind. We'll maybe feed in more copper here later. Maybe we won't. Who knows? We shall see. Right. So there we go. We've now got electronic components running down here, going in here like that, going into an elevator, which can then take them all the way up to the surface, where they will then be brought out by an exerter like this, which will then conveniently. Oh no, I can jump over it. That's all right. I was going to say will conveniently trap me in the area, but no, it hasn't done. And then I've still got a few of these left, so we can have that come out here, all the way along to here, and boom, just like that. Hopefully. Well, you know, once the elevators get going, get elevating. Is it working? No. Why is this not working? No power. What? Is the one at the top unpowered as well? No, this one's powered. So I've, somewhere between here and there, hither and yon, I have... Right, so that's definitely linked. Got this coming all the way down here solidly. Have I... Oh, I know what I've done. I've not put one in there. Boink. There we go. Now it's filling it up. Right, there we go. Yeah, I hadn't plugged it in properly. Tech support 101. Let's put another one in there, and then I can remove this one as well. It's going to be a little bit less head bumpy in here. Okay, let's head back up again. Head back up again now. Ow. It's trying to make it less head bumpy. So up here, yes, there we go. Here's the electronic components flooding out, and it's apparently enough. This isn't what I was going to do at all. Oh, no, Laurence, no. I was going to bring them out over here and build up the, not here, but wherever it is that I'm making the robot components, the robot parts. Ah, oh, goodness sake. I was going to bring them out, I can't even find the belt now. Here. Yes, they're supposed to be coming out here and being fed into this system. And that one over there was going to carry on running, producing the electronic components for everything else. Oh, for goodness sake. Right, let's do it again, but try and get it right this time. Rage. So it's this belt here. We're going to turn this round. So we'll extend this into the wall over there. Right, we're going to do exactly the same thing again. I could split them off, but the whole... Yeah, I guess that would top up from over there. I could split them off and prioritise this side. Yeah, that's probably the best idea, actually. All right, let's do that, and then it's not a complete waste of idiocy. I mean, time. All right, where am I? Quite a long way out. I think I'm going to be... Am I going to be able to go underneath that? No, maybe I'll just go straight down to 89 from here. Call this long enough, and that I'm going to go vertically when I inevitably don't have enough space. So, okay, let's just put my elevator in here, then, in that case. So we'll take out a chunk of chunk. Like that. There we go. And I can now put in another elevator here. Like that. With its exerter there. That's the bottom of an elevator. That should be at top. Let's try that again. Top side goes there. Then we have another hole going from here. 1 by 2 by 34, sure. Let's take this down with me. Yeah, it probably will. I'll deal with it when I get back to it. Right, so down to here. Where am I? 97. Okay, let's do... So there to there. 97, so I need to do 8. Plus 1 for power. It's nice and easy. Then from here I need to dig out a hole. Oh, I'm just missing one. Fine, be like that. Go 4 that way and 3 that way and 4 that way. Go. I can't remember exactly where my drill. Right. Okay. The other side of the elevator is over this way. Fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Take out that as well. There we go. There's the bottom of my elevator. I'm also going to need a tunnel to get round it because, well, I have to get places. So take out all of that. And the resources need to come in from this side. So we're going to run the foundation through over here, because why not? Around this side of the hole. And fill all of this space in now, like that. There we go. Fine, that can be filled as well. Alright, so I can drop down there, I can run around the outside here, like that, that's good. And then from here we're going to need a tunnel that goes this way for straight on till morning, basically. 4 high like that. And then while I'm faffing around with this, I'll put in the bottom of the elevator, which would be a bottom piece like that. I can put in my inserter, like that. And then I can put in my belt as I run along here, which would be number 3, like this. And then that's not far enough, so we'll select some more. I should probably check where I am, but let's do 14 and see how it goes. Okay, not far enough. Let's have a look at the map. So I'm there, so I need to go about, well, it's going to be 32 to there. So it's going to be another full thing of this, of 30 something. And then the rest I might just do with the other tool, because I'm going to be nearly there with this, if not actually there. It's further than I was expecting. Okay. Oh, there it is. Right. As soon as I pause to look at the map, that does of course mean I'm there. What are you doing? Go from there to there. Yes. Okay, did the height of 2 the wrong way round. Typical. Okay, so based on what we're saying, I'm going to need to hollow out a little bit more space here for the splitter. So let's do this. This is more space than is actually required for a splitter. Splitters are quite small. So if I cut you there and there, then I can get myself a splitter. That's number 5. That goes here. And then the belt can come from here. Once again, it can go down and then run all the way along here, there. And then we come back here, and I said I wanted the priority to be that way. Lovely. So now that's going to be my quantity of electronic components. They're going to be brought through here, up the elevator, lickety split, and then brought out here when nothing is going to happen. Because from here, I now need to take out everything from there. I need to remember how this is. Remember this tool is different from there to. Oh, I can't go far enough to there, and then it's taken out the foundation from underneath as well. Grr. There to there, and then we'll take out you as well, because why not? And that, and then finish that belt off by going like that. Okay, lovely. And then we go, what is going on here with these belts? This is ridiculous. Let's upgrade it. Just do that. Right, and then we need to have one of these that goes from here all the way through here like this. And then we go, what? How have you got no power? Seriously, how have you got no power? You're plugged directly into all of this stuff. What? Did I just... Oh, no. No, these machines are working. Oh, did I get... Oh, of course, yes, I know why. So if I take that out, and I go, I want to go to build foundation from there to there. Did that do? Yes. Maybe. Still no power. Why did it only put one piece in? Can we do this again but properly, please? And that's going to be enough to get it working, but not enough to actually, make me happy. Right, that goes from there to maybe there. Maybe that's enough. I don't know. Right, anyway, let's put the belt back in and let that flow. And let that flow. Oh. Right, there we go. Now those can disappear in there. We've got functionally, I was going to say functionally unlimited. No, we're trying to have a solid blue belt's worth of these available now. We should be doing pretty well on that, but actually it's only 3/4 of a blue belt, but that's still pretty good. This plastic belt, I'm sure, needs to be faster than this. We'll upgrade this to green. It's not the same as blue, obviously. It's not quite as good, but it's still pretty good. So I'll do that. However, I don't believe that's going to increase the quantity of robot parts we're getting out of here, because all I've done so far is bring the electronic components in from a different place. What I'm going to do next is going to be what makes this significantly better. The only problem with that is getting all of the resources in. So I guess can I mirror with copy paste? I think I can. So let's do a select area. I want to go from there to there. to there. And yes, we'll confirm copy. We'll put it kind of wherever for this moment, and then we'll line it up nicely. So you're supposed to actually be there, I think. And there, and a little bit higher just for the sake of interest and sanity and stuff like that. Leave a bit of room to make it look nicer. Okay, so the question is now, can I mirror? And I think I can, yes. So that, I don't know if I need to rotate it or if I need to. I can't tell. I can't tell what's going on in here. How many inserters are there? Okay, there's 3 inserters on that side. There's 2 inserters on this side. That looks like 2 inserters to me. Yeah, that's 3 inserters. Okay, so yes, this is correct. So let's do a confirm paste. Like that. Boom. Missing 28. What am I missing? Conveyor 2s. Okay, no problem. We'll upgrade those to conveyor 3s. Right, so now it's the fun task of getting the stuff from down here up to there. And last time I did one of these, I decided it would be a good idea to start to, instead of having I decided it'd be a good idea that instead of having spirals at the end, because they look ugly and are just generally difficult, it'd be much better to have long ramps that sweep up along the sides of it. And I did that for one of my builds somewhere. I think it's that one there. There are long sweeping. Let's go and have a quick look at it. Yeah, so previously I've done spiral ramps like this, and that's horrible. I don't like it at all. But then there was another build that I did somewhere where I did long sweeping ramps along the side. And I don't remember where that was. Oh, here we go. It was on the other side of that same build. Yeah, these are much nicer. But in the case of that one over there, there isn't room to do this. And especially because there's lots and lots of different resources on both sides of the factory, both sides. So there isn't going to be room for that. But I can still have the belts go out some distance, then loop round, and then come back in again, which I think is going to be nicer. So come back over here. Yes, you're probably right. Was the floating block over here that's going to annoy me? No, I think it was over on the other one. Now that's kind of okay. I think it was I think it was over here. Yeah, I'm aware that there is I'm now aware there is a mirror function. I was trying to remember it's not actually floating. I was trying to remember whether I was going to be able to just mirror it nice and easily, or whether I'd if I mirrored it, how I'd then be able to line everything up over here. Right, so we've got 3 resources on this side, all of which need to go up. So we're going to start here with an up ramp. How far up do we need? Okay, we'll upgrade the belt first, just because otherwise it won't work. I should have offset the whole upper level across one, and then having these come up and then loop around and go across again would have just worked perfectly. But it would also look weird and odd to have them offset like that. So, I don't know. Let's work out how many blocks up we're trying to build here. It needs to go up from here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so if I go up 4, then do a weird turny round. No, if I go up 5, then I've got a bit of room to do some turny roundy things. And then go up again. So I can have a belt come out from here and go. I could belt come from here and go round here to here. Then it can come into here. Then it can carry on upwards to here and feed in there, and all will be well. Nice. The next one is mildly tricky because we're going to have a splitter in here. Right, so let's do... This is going to get very spaghetti, I can tell already. Let's put in a splitter. Actually, these could be green belts as well at this point because we're halving it. Not that one. There we go. Power connection will be... Yes, a power connection will be needed, but that's A power connection, compared to everything else we're doing here, is very, very easy. What are you bringing up? You'll bring up electronic components which go in there. Like that. Gonna need to turn that entire belt round, but okay, never mind. And then down here, this isn't going to work, is it? No. No, because that's in the way. Can I put in a ramp straight away? I think I might be able to put a ramp in straight away, actually. So I'll put that there. Can I? Yes, I can. Sweet. And that's going to over there. So I'll bring it up to here. And that's all my ramps. Oh no. Then that will come round like this to here and then go up. Oop. One. Okay, well we'll stick in a tier 4 ramp here just because we can. Could you please clip onto that? I'm just putting a ramp here. Oh, I see. I need to rotate it. It's not just going to clip. Never mind. Right, and then back to type 3 because I've got plenty of the belts. I can run the belt from here to here. Then I can get rid of. Okay, I need to get a bit closer from there to there. So no, not height 6. No, no. Height 1. That. And then again from there to there. That. Now I can put in this belt. Run you along here. Boom. Okay, that's everything along this side. I still need to deal with the other side, and I still need to put the power in, as was pointed out earlier. The power is easy. Let's just do that. So you go from there to there. And to be honest, I should have supports in the corners just to make this look less ridiculous. So I'll put those in as well. Like that. And can't do that. Can't do one there. What can I do at the other end? Because I don't like my builds to look ridiculous, believe it or not. There and there. Right. I will now need to go and get some more ramps. But the idea being at this point is I go, hang on a minute, this is the output belt. Oh, now I'm going to need to get rid of that entire column. Okay, I'm going to need to bring the plastic up from here to here, and I'm going to need to bring the built components from here down to there. So let's go and get some more ramps because that's an inevitability. And ramps are not on my supplies that are being teleported around yet, unfortunately. Ramps. I think this will be blue tier anyway. No, that's splitters. And I've still got 48 splitters. Okay, that's fine. Gimme. I'm not convinced 50 ramps is going to be enough. Well, it is going to be enough for this, actually. Yeah, that'll be fine. Also, while I'm here, I'm going to unload those. And, oh yeah, those, and those, and those. I didn't have any of those, that's okay. And those. I'm getting rid of electronic components as well, which is not my intent, but never mind. Right, okay, so that is going to get rid of all of the low tier belts out of my inventory, hopefully. Yes, now I only have greens and blues. Lovely. So, back to the old building board. And over here, well, firstly I'm going to get rid of this tower because it ain't going to work. Oops. Did I get rid of something up here I shouldn't have done? No, I think I got away with that one. Okay, so from here it's going to be fairly easy. We're just going to put in ramps from here, going up 1, 2, 3. Fairly easy, except there's a cliff in the way. We'll take out a little bit of this hill, shall we? We don't like hills that get in the way. So we'll then have another one of these in here, like that. That'll take me up to 4 up, and then we can have the belt. Oh, I'm on this side. Okay, we need to remove some more hill. There we go. And then the belt can loop round this way, and then round to here, and then it can go up another 2, 3, and go, oh no, it doesn't fit. So in that case, we'll try again. We'll go from here across 1, then we'll go up 1, then we'll go up 2 more, and it'll fit. Lovely, just like that. Simple-ish. Then we want this to be a slope down. Do the similar sort of thing again. Down to here. Now we're going to need 1 more. I'm not sure I needed to do that, actually. No, I didn't need to do that. Oh well. Never mind. Let's actually bring up the ramp from here first. To here. So we're putting that ramp there, and then we're going to link them all together with belts. That's probably going to be the safest way to do this. That. And can't see what I'm doing. That. Right, there we go. That should now, as long as supplies hold up, which I'm cautiously optimistic that they will, that should double my production of these robot parts. Have we got enough of everything going in here? We see up here, seems all these machines are running. All these machines are running. The input belts are inputting. The output belt is outputting. I think that's good. I think that is now producing twice as much of everything as it was before. The next stage, if I wanted to expand this further, would potentially be to build a 3rd floor above and just sort of hold my nose, as it were. Or alternatively, put in some of the little consoles and have some robots speeding the machines up. That would be a possibility, and maybe it's a thing I should do. We'll see how this gets on. See whether this is actually enough at this rate now to sped it up a bit. So twice as much. Hurrah! That's a good start. That's what we wanted to see. Out of idle curiosity, now that that's pulling in as many electronic components as it can, what have we got coming out over here? Still a full blue belt. Which it seems like we're not actually using as many as I thought over there. And we're still having a plentiful supply coming out here. All these machines have stopped. So that seems to be alright. Yeah, whichever one it is that gives me the best speed or productivity or most worthwhile bonus, I'd have to think about it a little bit. But yeah, the workstations with something, either drones, bots, or robots, whatever gives me the correct upgrade for these machines, that's what I'm looking for. So, is twice as many going to be enough? We shall see. But now we have a quantity of them going out down the belt over here. This belt is nearly satisfied. I can imagine that one actually filling up at this point and becoming actually genuinely satisfied. Yeah, there we go. That's now backed up to the splitter, so that's good. We're getting nearly all of the components that are coming along are going through. Nearly all. So that's a start. And then down here, it's backing up along here as well. Okay, so that one's okay. That one's fine, as we just saw. Oh yeah, the rope parts are going in there. And this one is also fine. Yeah, this one's also fine. Okay, so that is actually enough now for for the demands we've got on the system at the moment. We are producing robot parts faster than we're using them. So that is excellent. That is the sort of progress we like to see. Next up, I guess, is going to be to build another one of these to build the next type of robot. And it's actually relatively early. It's only 9 o'clock, so I think I should have plenty of time to actually build another type of robot this stream, which is going to be rather nice. Do these things have a verticality limit? Yes, but it's crazily high. I've never gone. I've flown up there to see how high you can go. I can't remember how high it is. I want to say it's probably something like 256 or something like that. I don't know, but it's really, really high. It's high enough that it's never been a problem. And if you look over there, my oil refining area that's significantly taller than this is. So yes, there is a maximum height you can get to, but no, it's not likely to be a problem. I'm kind of tempted to put a third layer on here anyway, just for funsies. I'm not going to, but I'm yet. But I probably will after I've built another robot type or two and then discovered it's all catastrophic and horrible. Right, so let's have a quick think about robots. I have built some types of robots. Well, I can't even remember at this point. Robots. I've definitely made Farmat and Combo. Farmer. I think I've made Farmer, Combat and Mining. Let's go and check because I'll feel very silly if I accidentally make the same type twice. So here we have Combat. Here we have Miner. And here we have Major. I mean Farmer. Right. Oh, the workstations, do they have a verticality limit? I see. That I have no idea about, but Gims appears to have some knowledges, so I imagine he's probably right. Or at least I'm happy to assume he's right until proven otherwise. So I've done the farmer, the combat, and the mining. So there's science, operator, and personal assistant left to do. So my plan is I have a cunning plan here because I'm quite happy with this system over here. It's a little bit silly, but it's also kind of cool. Only problem is there's some stuff over here that's overlapping with it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this entire thing and then paste it in further down and then go through and reprogram it and then work out what inputs are needed and then cry when it turns out it's not compatible. So I'm going to get out the old copy-paste-imatron and I'm going to say select an area, and then I'm not going to be able to select the area I want because this sticks out quite a long way. Okay. So I'm going to then cancel that, and I'm going to put in another block of thingamawhatsit in here. And is that going to be enough? Yes. Then I'm going to go back to the copy-paste-imatron. I'm going to go from that block to... Right, is there any funny stuff over? Yes. So we need to come out to get this belt. Although, to be honest, if I miss this belt out, it's not going to be the end of the world. But I would like it to be, yeah, it needs to be 24. Okay, so 24, that's a number. We can remember that. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to get the spaceport because that's too big. So we're going to go... Oh, maybe I can get it, actually. I can, yes. 100 by 24 by... that many. And I would like to take a copy of that, please. That is going to be an obscenely big thing to be copying and pasting, but never mind. That's how we roll. So I'm going to put that in there and then try and line it up a bit. Have I got that spot on just first attempt? I mean, no, I haven't. But I only got one square out if this lines up correctly. Which it does. Yes, that's a dead straight line along there. So that's the correct place for this. Okay. Do we feel lucky? How much of this do you think I'm going to be missing? Probably quite a lot of it, but I'm going to drop it in anyway and see what happens. So out of 2,200 items, I'm only missing 139. That's honestly not bad. I'm also tempted to do a second copy of it, just have it... No, don't do that, Laurence. You'll mess things up. Where do you go? Oh dear. There we go. Right. So what was I missing? I was missing conveyor 2s, fine, conveyor 1s. I don't care about any of those. Conveyor slope 3. Okay, so I've run out of green slopes again. Shipping pad, fine, fair enough. Assembly line start. Okay, we're going to get some more of that power line I've run out of. Assembly line rail. You know what? let's head back over to the factory and get more stuff, and then work out, and then bring it back. Yeah, because none of my assembly line stuff has been put in. I don't really need that because there's one over here, but never mind. That block of rock there is a little bit ridiculous. Yeah, I guess it's not that big by number of items. It was only 2,000. Only 2,000. Only 2,200. But it was quite big by scale, I felt. I'm sure people have done much, much bigger, but it felt quite big to me. Meh. Right. Excuse me. Right, so what do I want from here? I'm going to need probably some of those. Definitely one of those. Maybe some of that. Don't need that. Do need that. Don't need that. Okay, so that's all my stuff from in that box. There's nothing useful in there. Right, so let's do the paste again from here. Okay, so I'm still short quite a lot of stuff. Oh, it's not going to tell me because I'm too far away. Great. We'll just have to try and remember. I'm sure that'll go fine. I'm notorious for having a good memory after all. Right, so I needed more tier 3 ramps, so we'll take those. Gimme. We needed more of the bits for the assembly line, I'm pretty sure. Assembly line bits are not over here, they are... Yeah... No. Where are assembly line parts? Actually, are assembly line parts made over here, because they're actually surprisingly simple. What goes into an assembly line part? I can't do anything until I know. Assembly lines, machine parts, advanced machine parts specifically. Okay, these are fairly complicated. Hydraulic pistons, that's these guys. So it's probably these machines here. Yeah, here we go. So I picked up some starts. Starts I'm not going to be short of. Production machines I probably am. The rest I think is probably all right. I definitely picked up some painters, and I've got plenty of rail. I am going to need the assembly line spaceship port thing though. Those are being made. Oh, those are being made somewhere over here because they're very, very fussy and weird and require a lot of strange stuff. And I think I ended up making them down here next to the construction material. These guys, yes. So give me that. Give me that. Right. Now let's go over and check our copy paste again and see how we're getting on. A large part of the problem is going to be low tier belts that we just don't have anymore. But then, why are there any low tier belts in here? When was this built? What is this? Oh yeah, this is the bit that sticks out that we don't want. So get rid of that from there to there to there. Boom. Okay. So I think, yes, it's just the input belts. That's fine. I'm going to need to put them in anyway as I work out what's required for this whole system. So let's come up here and go, okay, you're unpowered. Electrical cable. That was the other thing I needed. Let's go and get some of that then. That's probably a thing that should be being fed out to the teleport chests because it's a thing that I want to always have. The problem is it's made sort of somewhere in the middle of the factory, like here. Here? Yeah. No, that's pipes. Power line. It's made somewhere in the middle of the factory, here specifically, and therefore it's awkward to get stuff out from. So it's just going to stay. It's just going to stay there, I'm afraid. I've definitely copy and pasted a blast furnace and all its associated machines. That's how I got my copper one and how I got my second copper one. They were just straight up copy pasted. So I can confirm that that does work. Problem I haven't done that is now we've got that belt in down there again, but never mind, we'll remove that later. Okay, so over here you're still unpowered. Why are you unpowered? Because there's nothing linking these across, but at least you should be. If I link that to there, then everything should be powered all the way down the wahoonie. Okay, here we go. So now we're going to reset configuration. We're not going to make combat robots. We're going to make operator robots because they're at the top of the list. So we then need to go along here and go configure operator robot arm left. Operator arm. Right. This is going to be a slightly, not convoluted process, but a slightly long process. Operator arm. Head, sure. Operator robot. Leg. Left. Operator robot. Leg. Right. And I think that's all the bits. Now we're into the welding. Yes, weld arm left. It's a good thing they don't fall apart as the stuff trundles down there. Operator robot arm right. Operator robot weld head. Operator robot weld leg. Operator robot weld other leg. A little bit of a gap for some reason. Operator robot paint. And I've forgotten what my colour schemes were. I think I was making the robots basically blue because my colour, but then I was making the torso a different colour for each different type of robot for reason, but just because it felt like a nice idea. Okay, so you're going to need a supply of paint to be brought to you. So we have a pipe here, and we need to hook this pipe up to that pipe. And that means this tree and this tree are in the way. So hopefully if I come over here, I could probably knock that out and put in a T-piece like that. Then I could put in a straight from here to here. And because everything is perfectly lined up, because why wouldn't it be? I can run that straight into there, and then I can also turn this into a T-piece as well because, well, it probably should be one because then I can copy and paste it. And in fact, I should probably run the pipe across, but no, I'll do that. I'll do that as part separately. I'm also going to need to put in foundation from there to. Why are we in vertical mode? I know why we're in vertical mode. I'm just grumbling about it. From there to there, and then from there to there apparently. And I suppose I should put legs on it really, shouldn't I? So we'll go back into vertical mode. And this is why we end up in vertical mode. So foundation go from there down there into the water. And similarly over here, you can go from there down into the water. Right, we are supported, and it doesn't look quite as ridiculous. Okay, all these other supports need a little bit of extending. Yes, I am just going in and fixing cosmetic stuff. That's just not like me at all, actually, but I am anyway. There we go, much nicer. Okay, and then over here, we're doing operator robots, aren't we? So I need to come in here and I need to program all of these machines, and then I need to think about all of the inputs, and that's going to be the hard part. So, I didn't notice what you were doing before. So you're doing torso. So you're doing head. Robots, operator robot, head. Shoulders. Knees. And elbows. Right, that is now all complete except for the lack of some of the belts that are running through here, but fine, we'll burn that bridge when we come to it. Right, so we've got the two outputs here, and we've got one input on this side. So clearly these go to here and here. Right, yep, so that's fine. So, I'm not going to do it from here. What are the resources that go into making one of these robots? So, operator robots, the torso takes parts, iron, green circuits and energy cells. The heads take parts, iron, CPUs, and green circuit board. So we've got, yeah, quite a good overlap there. Then we've got robot parts. So everything requires robot parts. These two require hydraulic pistons and rubber. And modular building planners. What? Okay. So we have iron and rubber as a common thing as well. So the hydraulic pistons come in here. That's easy because only these machines require the hydraulic pistons. Fine. We then have iron and rubber coming in over here because everything requires iron and rubber. Well, both sides require iron and rubber. Rubber there, iron there, and rubber there as well, actually. And then we're also going to need to have modular building planners coming in along here as well, which is fun. Then we have, so that's iron, and then we have, and we need to also have the robot parts coming in up the middle as well. This might not work. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this isn't going to work. Bah. That's upsetting because the operator robots require a different number of inputs require more inputs than the combat robots I've just copied and pasted. These are apparently a bit simpler. So everything requires robot parts. So robot parts have to go up the middle because everything requires them. Iron has to go up the middle because everything requires it. And I also need to get rubber and modular building planners to these robots. So that's another 2 things. That's 4 things that have to go up the middle from that point of view. And then the iron we've talked about. We need to get CPUs, circuit boards, and energy cells. That's another 3 things to the other robots. And there's only room for 1 more thing on the other side. This is not going to fit. It pastes in. It will paste in the base of the blast furnace. So you need to have a blast furnace base in your inventory. That'll get pasted in, and then the robots will fly in and construct it as normal. So no, it doesn't cheat it. Thankfully, I'm very happy to say. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to have to do all the limbs. They're going to have to split these things up separately. So instead of having them all crammed in next to each other like this, which I thought was quite a nice design, because then when I want to speed this up, it's going to be a simple case of just copying and pasting it as many times as necessary, because all the belts are going to line up perfectly. I can't do that. So I guess what I'm going to have to do is separate out the heads from the shoulders and the knees from the elbows, and then have a bit of a gap between them. Now, that's not a serious problem because there is a lot of space underneath this system. So I can run loads of extra belts down the sides of here. It's just a little bit of a faff because I was hoping not to have to. So if I go back to over here, for example, if I decide I actually want to have twice as many combat robots being made, then it's a simple case of copy-pasting this. Oh, no. I've already solved this problem. That's what's going on here. Ah, right, yes. This is my sushi belt system, which is honestly a lot bigger than the Factorio equivalent would be. So as you can see, coming along here are all the different inputs that are required for these machines. So it is just the common ones that need to be put. So in this case, I've got what appears to be steel, I think, and robot components and combat parts going up the middle here because they're required for lots of things. So sushi madness instead, I think. Yeah, let's go sushi again because sushi's fun. I might need to go sushi on both sides this time though, which is going to be even more exciting. So let's think that through again. Sushi is crazy, but I'm a Factorio player, so I'm kind of used to crazy. At least sushi type crazy. I'm not used to a third dimension. That's making things a little bit weirder. But, okay, so let's think this through again. So we'll start with the limbs. Both the limbs require hydraulic pistons, and so I can bring those up the outside. That's fairly straightforward. Then everything. Oh, and it'd have to be hydraulic pistons and modular building planners, which is kind of gross. Then up the middle, we bring iron, robot parts, and maybe rubber. Yeah, iron, robot parts, and rubber come up the middle, and that's this satisfied. As long as I can get the modular building planners in there. Then over here we have then we have the sushi belt that brings in CPUs, circuit boards, and energy cells. Right, let's get building the easy bits first, and then we'll come back and do the hard bits afterwards, because I think that way is probably the sensible way. Except the easy bit over here is going to be a bit harder than it was last time, because I'm going to need to do a bit of this. But, you know, this is already largely built. He says, looking at this and going, why are there gaps in my sushi system? Oh yes, I was feeding in with lower speed belts, and that seemed to be making things better. So I am going to either need to upgrade all of this to blue. Yeah, let's upgrade all of this to blue and then put in greens for the rest of it. Right, so upgrade that, and that, and no. I went for a Control Z then, and then remember that's not a thing in this game. That, and that, and that, and that, and these in a moment, but I'll leave this running first. Yeah, okay, so that's all of the inside of the sushi system. That all needs to be a higher speed of belt than the other bits around here. And then we can feed green belts into the inputs. I've forgotten what I needed now. I definitely know that I don't need this though. Boink. Right, so we've got inputs. That's going to be CPUs. What is this belt doing? This is the return. What? Right, okay, so we've got sushi belt going. Sushi belt comes through here, comes up to here, is split into the various different things that are going into it. Then they pour back down here into these splitters. And then I've missed some splitter upgrades. Then they're recombined along here and then fed back down here. Ah, is this where it goes into the... Yes, this is where it goes into the actual factory. Okay, fine. So you go from there, you go through this way. No, you don't. What? Let's go and look at the other one, because I'm very confused. Ah, so that comes down, it then gets slowed down. And is then the sushi belt, feeds into the back of the sushi belt. Oh, right, okay, that makes sense. Right, so over here, that would be a green belt. Yeah, so the green belt goes green from here to there, like that. Right, and my inputs come in here, here, and here. What were my inputs? This is complicated. My inputs are circuit boards, energy cells, and CPUs. That's not none of those. So let's change this one to circuit boards. Like that. There we go. So circuit boards are coming out this way. So this is circuit boards. Actually, no, I shouldn't be selecting yet. I'll set the filters afterwards. So energy cells, circuit boards, CPUs. Energy cells are right here. That's an easy one. Let's bring you along, feed you in. Let's work out where energy cells were going in the previous one. So energy cells come out of here on this side. Right, okay, so energy cells are here. Which side should that be coming? I don't know which side that should be coming out of. Okay, coming out on the left. Fine. Alright, so try to remember how to build one of these things. That comes to there. And then it goes down as many as is necessary. Get down to there. Fine. We'll do it manually then. That goes there. And then we hook one of these onto the back of it like that. Boom! Energy cells. I sort of don't want that to run yet too much, so we'll pull that out. But that's basically the idea. The energy cells can now run around here like a mad thing. That's good. That's fine. Actually, it wouldn't matter if we let it run. It would just fill the belt up and then we'd use them up. But, but we won't just yet. Right, so that's the energy cells. Green circuits and CPUs were the other two things. So here's green circuits. Let's run your belt along here. And then CPUs. Those won't have been... Look how short of steel we are. I'm going to need to go and boost steel again at some point. That's mildly horrifying, because it was a big effort to get the amount of steel we got going in the first place. Come on, where are CPUs? Oh, they're here up on the upper level. I see them. No, come this way. There we go. So, we'll feed in CPUs here, I guess. So it comes to here. Then we put in the down ramp, like that. Then we put in the splitter, like that. And then we worry about the green circuits, which are coming into up here. So I guess that means we bring a belt out from here like this, and then we go, which side of green circuits do we feed from? Is that green circuits? Yes. It comes out the right-hand side. Okay. So grab the belt from here, and to the right-hand side of this, which is, yes, here, pretty sure. No, this way, please. Right. Down to there. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. And then I can put in a splitter there. And that's that. And now I can finish off these belts and just start letting stuff in. Like that. There we go. So now we should have, yeah, a sushi belt here that has a nice arrangement. Or there should be some, there we go. Yeah, the CPUs are being allowed through now. So that is all the bits and pieces that could be required to make the heads and shoulders. These are now, well, no, it's not. It's all the bits that are coming from that side. We're going to feed the iron and the components. We're running out of power again. I'm going to need to do something about that. What time is it? 6:30 in the morning. This is a good time to look at power and find out how bad it is. Yes, my batteries are completely dead. So yeah, next thing is to go out and expand the solar field. I'll do that in a moment. So up here we're going to have iron and components. Yes, that'll satisfy both of these if we have iron and components coming up the middle. And then over here, iron and components, and hydraulic rams and rubber. Yeah, I could feed rubber up the middle perhaps, so that'd be my third one. And then I just need to worry about getting the rams in and the what's names, the construction planner things. That's a weird thing to have to feed in, but you know, it'd be interesting. Right, let's go and increase power. Like my solar field isn't big enough already. Well, it's clearly not big enough already because we have a shortage of power. But let's go out and expand it. Again. There's a fair amount of solar out here. Fair amount. What's going on over here? There's just 3 random solar panels that are presumably meant to be part of a solar array that just hasn't been finished. Okay then. Well, let's copy and paste and assume it's just going to overlap with them. So I would like to select a new area, and I will select from here where we have batteries. No, I won't. I'll select from the other end because I think this power, the pylons are needed in some way, shape, or form. So battery. Try again. From there. Right, so we can get the batteries, then we get 2 rows of solar panels. Then we get another set of batteries, and another 2 rows of solar panels. And I think that's what we copy as a single unit. And that comes out to here. And arbitrarily high, fine. Then we can do a copy in place. I would say, yes please, I would like 3 more banks of solar. Now I'm not going to have enough for this, but if I drop in a paste like this, then I can go through and it's going to go doink like that. And then I can go through and shoot the awkward little trees that are in the way like this. And awkward big trees as well for that matter. And then have another go at it once my inventory is filled back up again a little bit. Which probably isn't going to happen because I'm probably too far away from the magic tower. So I'll have to fly over and get a bit closer to it in a second. But still, these all need removing, so I'm going to do this as well. Yeah, the magic tower's all the way over there. There's no way I'm going to be in range from here. Can we destroy that, please? Right. It's a shame the clear out decor doesn't work anymore. I don't know why it doesn't work, but I also do know it doesn't work. Also, I seem to have run out of normal... I seem to have run out of actual foundation as well. That was a rather large build I just did. But never mind. It was needed. We need the power. Alright, so if I do that, I can find out when I get in range, like... There we go. Now I'm in the range. Now I'm in range. I can start tidying up my inventory a little bit, I suppose. Okay, the foundation's arriving. That's a good start. We've got some batteries. Got plenty of power line. I think it was just solar panels we ran out of then. And foundation, of course. And looking out over there. Yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3 rows of batteries. So that feels about right. So if I carry on doing this... No. Oh, no. I've pressed the wrong button. Gonna have to try and line this up now. I mean, it's not too difficult to line up, fortunately, but it's annoying that I pressed the wrong button. Right. And then 1 more that way. That should be... Oh, no, a little bit more this way. There we go. That should now be lined up, and I should be able to do a confirm paste. Let's get a bit more of the stuff out. What am I still short of? I am still short of... Oh, it's only doing 1. Well, at least that 1 has been done. That's nice, I suppose. Can I repeat? Yes, I can repeat. Okay, sweet. Boink. Boink. There's still some blocked stuff around here. Let's see if there's any... Is there any terrain in the way? No. Alright, so missing some battery, missing everything at this point actually. So it's time to go back over and cuddle the tower for a little while I fill my inventory back up. In the meantime, right, yeah, I do have geothermal running. Let's see, I've got over here. I've got a coal patch. There's digging up coal. There's water available here. We're making the coal juice here. Then that's running down a pipe, down an elevator shaft here, where it's being taken over to this geothermal patch and this geothermal patch. But then I got to the point where I went, I'm not sure this is worth it. The reason I'm trying to move away, I was trying to move away from coal because coal patches run out, usually at inopportune moments. Now, I guess the possibility would be you go off and you make a massive coal-fired power plant by one of these things. And yeah, that certainly would be a possibility. But at the time I was building out, I didn't have the vein miner technology. So then when I discovered solar, I went, well, this is clearly the way to go. It costs, I can put down as much of this as I want. It doesn't cost any, it has no running costs, it just is. So why would I not just build out enormous fields of solar? I believe that nuclear power is going to be added in the next update, possibly the same one as trains, or maybe it's going to be the one after that. But it's going to be coming. It's coming fairly soon, and that is another big. It's going to be another big modular construction building that they're going to be putting in. So there will be another way of generating power in the future. And what I'm sort of assuming / hoping is that nuclear is going to be capable of producing enormous amounts of power. But they'll add in some things that also use enormous amounts of power. So whilst you could, in theory, power it with solar, it would be basically absolutely crazy and just not realistic. Yeah, so there are various power options. You've got burning biomatter, you've got burning coal, you've got burning coal a more efficient way to boil water. You've got the geothermal one that I was talking about, where you mix coal and water to make a special sort of stuff that you then pump through your generator, you then use with the geothermal power plants, and then there's solar, and soon to come is nuclear. But nuclear is, as I say, I suspect I'm probably not going to use nuclear in this playthrough, because I think I'll have stopped by then. Because I think I'm nearly there, and when I do finish playing with all of the all the stuff in this particular all the stuff we've got at the moment, I'm probably going to go back and then I'm probably going to go off and play something else for a while, I think. Why is it not putting in those 37 building blocks? It doesn't say that. It doesn't say anything is blocked, but I'm still short of some solar panels and power poles. That's unhelpful. Are these? Oh, maybe they're blocked. If they're blocked, that's okay. Are they meant to be buried slightly? Yes, because the ground level has risen. Okay. So wait, if I go back into here, I should be able to do demolish terrain, but that doesn't work. The demolishing thing system doesn't seem to work properly. So I'm going to have to just do it like this. And not be quite sure where these pylons are supposed to be going. Okay, that's that. Oh, and there's still some stuff in the way, like that one. This will be why there was some foundation that we couldn't put down, because I hadn't cleared out all of the decor. Is that the lot? Might be the lot. Let's fly back over towards the tower a bit so we can at least refill the inventory a little. Right, now if I go back in here and do a confirm paste. And maybe an open panel as well. How are we doing? Building block is... There's still 20 building blocks that are blocked, but everything else has gone in and is functional. Right, let's go and try and find which building blocks we're blocked with. Oop, there's some. Okay, they're just a bit hard to see. Can we zap through the gaps? Yes, we can. I'm sure the copy-paste-o-matron used to be able to deal with all this stuff for you. Problem is, there's apparently 20 of these. They're kind of hard to spot. There's one. There's another one there. That one and that one. Yeah, when they're really small like this, they're very, very difficult to spot. The only way you can see them is the machines that are missing foundation, and that's quite hard to... Also very hard to spot because the screens are difficult to see. That one probably doesn't matter. Oops. But I might as well clear it out anyway, for the sake of completeness and tidiness and stuff. Maybe I should have gone through... Maybe next time I need to go through and just prepare the ground before I try and put one of these things in, because this is silly. There's one. I don't have specific plans at the moment for a for either a multiplayer, an alternative stream, or a supporter shenanigans. I probably should do another one though at some point. I'm actually going on holiday in a couple of weeks, so it's not at the moment is not a good time to be starting to plan these things. Not now is not a good time to be organising one of these things, but that's no reason why it can't be sort of thought about and planned for in the future. How are we doing? One left. Right, let's see. So, yeah, I think I probably should do another supporter shenanigans. I should probably... I think at the moment, having the Planetary Pioneers streams once a week is enough for enough multiplayer for the main group, because we all have jobs and some of us have lives and things that get in the way. So probably won't add in any more big multiplayer series for now. But at some point, probably will want to add in another one, I would imagine. Keep your eyes peeled for any panels or batteries with screens that say no connection on them, because I think there it is, that battery there. Is there something under there? I can't see anything under there. No, that seems all right. I guess we'll go in this way and have a look. This is what I actually wanted. Okay, we'll just take this battery out, actually. There we go. Why was there no floor under there? There's clearly a floor, some sort of floor in the blueprint. Right, and now you need to be plugged in like that, and presumably that. Right, so that makes me wonder if every end battery is not plugged in properly. No, that one's okay. Yeah, okay. There's quite a lot of batteries here that just don't have the foundation under them properly because there was a problem with one of them and I missed it, and then I copied it a million times. So that's annoying and unfortunate and needs fixing. So this one's okay. This one is not okay. Oh. I wonder how far back this problem goes. So what I assume has happened is that somewhere along here there is going to be one of these batteries that is not that has some random piece of trash underneath it, and so I didn't clean it out properly when I was doing the copy paste. And so now when I come in, when I've been copying and pasting, all these batteries are not placed properly and have not been working, which is silly and kind of ridiculous. Oh, that one's all right. That one's all right. That one's all right. Okay, seems to be all right now. I guess I'd better run along this row as well and check for any disconnected ones there. Oh, was there one that was flat, not angled? That would be a dead giveaway that it wasn't working. Oh yeah, well spotted. Thank you, Gims. Yeah, but it's hidden right under the middle of it, so I couldn't see it. Oh, no, maybe not that under the middle, but certainly hidden underneath it, so I couldn't see it. All right, put you back in again. Boop. And then wire you up. Bing, bang, bong. There we go. Right, so that's a lot more solar available now. I probably should put in an additional one just to complete the square along there. That'd be quite nice. But we'll see about that in a moment. I want to check these batteries first. Yes, 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 yes. That's weird. That's very strange. I don't understand why there was a problem that clearly had appeared and then been copied and pasted, but there weren't any other problems that appear to have caused it. Yeah, I must have just there must have just been a bit of foundation missing. Maybe I'd run out of foundation. It didn't get placed. I didn't notice, and then you saw what happened. So but that still feels odd. Okay, let's temporarily put in another magic tower over here. I'm not sure where I want to put it though. Oh, the solar panel was like that because there was a gap under it because there was some sort of piece of miscellaneous, some decor underneath it. That's fine. It was the batteries where none of them, where they were all sort of. I don't know if that counts as decor. I don't think it does because I can't target it. Yeah, it was the batteries where none of them were actually had any decor underneath them, so they should have been working. No, you're not. But it was definitely a copy and paste problem because they're all broken. Every other battery was broken in the same way over a small area. So it's very strange. Do you count? I don't think you do. You probably count though. And you definitely count. You're a little sod. There we go. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put in the foundation first because if I do this out to here and then to wherever, it'll be really obvious where if I've missed out any bits that are going to be problematic. Or alternatively, I might just run out of foundation. That feels like an achievement, given that my magic towers are supposed to be keeping me full of it. Right, clear this out as well. There we go. Now it's nice and flat there. So is this magic tower up and running yet, or is it still charging? Oh, it's charged. Nice. So how's my inventory? Filling up with foundation. That's good. Let's chuck these seeds because I don't want the seeds. Seeds are just one of those things that accumulate in my inventory and are annoying. I'd like to have some sort of automatic destruction system for quite a lot of this nonsense that builds up. Biomass is at least vaguely useful because you can power your boring machine with it, but the rest of it, I just don't need it. Oh, I see what you mean. Which panel? We'll wait for the sun to come up again, and then we'll go and try and find out which panel it was. Was it still flat and I just couldn't see? My pattern recognition is apparently bad. Oh yeah, there it is. Can we demolish the things I'm trying to demolish, please? That's weird. You're quite right. I've forgotten to put in, boink, just that. You'd think if it had at least some foundation under it, it'd be basically okay, wouldn't you? But no, they're really, really fussy little machines. Did that do what I wanted? Yes, it did. Okay. Right, for my next trick, let's try for. There we go. Can we repeat a fourth time? We can. So let's do that. There's still something blocked. What could possibly be blocked? I thought I tidied this all up. Oh no, it's the pylon over here. That's what's blocked. So right, get that back out again and paste. Huh. There's a battery that's got too many power connections. That's a weird thing to happen because it should be exactly the same as every other one. Right, so as we can see here, I have run out of solar panels. So it's time to go and cuddle a radiation tower for a couple of minutes while we fill the top back up again, and then it should just work. Right. While we top up, I wonder how the power's doing. I suppose I need to check that. What time is it? Almost midnight. Now, if I'm over here, am I still in range? Yes, good. You, grid stats. You're not connected to anything. Great, that's helpful. Well done there. Not sure why not, but does that pipe have any oil in it? Probably not. Nope. This patch has presumably run out. Yeah, the patch has run out, so we're not getting it. We're not going to get any more oil out of there. Fortunately, I have other oil patches that are still producing oil, so that's okay. Is that everything? Yes, sweet. These teleport towers are really useful for restocking. Right, okay, so there's some cables missing along these Oh, because I've run out of power. I haven't got everything. I need to go get some power line. I've managed to rip through all the 200 I grabbed earlier, and that's one of the few things. Well, one of the. I think that's the only thing that's required for the solar field that isn't being automatically replenished. So I'm going to have to come out and get that. But I do get 200 at a time, which does go quite a long way, but not far enough, as you can clearly see. Not that one. This one. Take another extra 4 as well, because that's going to make all the difference. So if I now say confirm page again, why is there one of the batteries that apparently is trying to have more power connections than it's allowed to have? I don't understand. But let's have a look over here and make sure our power lines are all linked up properly. This is clearly not, I would say. So we need to go from there to there. And there. 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 Right, that's good. And then looking along here, the batteries all seem to be connected up. Solar, yeah, solar is in blocks, so we should see, yeah, we should see a battery connector lit up at each end like that, that's correct. The pattern seems to be fine. And then over here, we should see a solar panel per block as well at this end, because the cables loop up and then back down again. So this all seems to be fine. So if I go to right over here and open up this guy and have a look at your grid stats, yeah, there we go. So that is the everything. At the moment, it's somewhere in the early morning. I'm not sure exactly when. So the geothermal power is kicked back in because we don't have enough power in the batteries. I think it's thanks to all the extra machinery I've been putting in and just absolutely ripping through the power. But that's fine. We just need to let this. We need to come back at the end of sort of early in the morning tomorrow morning. So in about 26, 28. 30 hours, something like that, and see how much power is left in the batteries at that point. Then I may need to consider extending this even further and take out those mountains over there or something probably, which is going to get a little silly, but never mind. But for now, yeah, because I can't really put more in over. Well, I could put a bit more in over here, but we're starting to get a bit too close to the main factory. When in doubt, doubling. Yeah, the problem is doubling this takes a long time. You saw how long it took me to put in another 3 or 4 blocks worth of solar over there. So going to try and to actually double that from the amount I've got at the moment take a very, very long time. But yes, I'll probably need to double it at some point. Meanwhile, back in the past, or whatever era we want to call this, I have too many of these towers around. Let's remove a couple of them, because I don't think I need 3 in quite this level of proximity. Take you out and take you out, because there's still one down here, and they glow very nicely, which is kind of convenient. So, right, back to this nonsense. So we've got the sushi belt over here, which is providing all the bits and pieces that this could possibly need. Then over here, we need to feed in the other bits and pieces that we need, which is going to be iron and robot parts, and I think rubber was the other one. Iron, rubber, and robot parts. So let's play spot the iron. And then I need to worry about steel, because we still don't have enough of that. Where is iron? There it is. Apparently we're blue belting iron. Fine, we can do that, I suppose. Zoop. What's going on here? Oh. Apparently I messed up. These are supposed to come out on the other side of the belt. I mean, that's not a serious problem. I can just come in here and fix it. Or I could have had any of the yellow bits and pieces. Well, actually, no, I do have the yellow bits and pieces because I just picked a couple up then. So I'll put in, that goes there. And that goes there. And then I suppose I'm going to put in a green belt going off the top. I'm not going to be able to put in a green belt on here, am I? Because it'll try and upgrade it like that. Can I do this? Yes. There we go. Right. It's a little bit silly. but it'll do. Right, where was I? Oh yes, iron. Iron is over here. You need to be extended from there to around here somewhere. So we're going to have 3 things going in here. Probably the first one is iron. So that's going to be a belt here, which means we need to have those spaces for the ramp, those spaces for the splitter, so it comes to there. In order to make sure I'm getting this right, I'm going to put in the other belts now. So we've got the components over here. I'm going to grossly upgrade a belt halfway along, but never mind. That should be 1 tile further along, so that comes to here. Might be 2 tiles actually, because I'm not sure where the rubber is. I'm not even sure if I'm feeding rubber into this whole system yet. Might be easier to come back a bit further along and see. I don't see any rubber. Just because I don't see any doesn't mean there isn't any. I might just be being a bit blind. But I don't think I am. I think there isn't any rubber being fed along here. I'm gonna have to go and get some. So rubber is being produced. It's being used to make the blue belts, if nothing else. Yeah, there it is. There's a supply of it coming out of the ground here. So I guess I could tap off that and then just feed it out along the bus over here. Let's do that for want of a better way to do anything with it. I think I might as well upgrade these like that, mostly because why not? But then also because I'm probably going to need more of more of everything at some point in the not too distant future. Let's follow this belt and see how long it lasts for before I run into something that causes things to be difficult. So I'll go to there and then up. Yeah, lovely. It's got difficult. It's okay, I can go up there. And then across here. And here. Run along parallel to these, and oh yeah, there we go. Something's gone wrong. Will it go over? Yes, it will go over automatically. That's nice. And on, and where are we? Are we doing a bus thing yet? Right, let's go to here. And then build backwards to meet that. So this is going to have to be another belt going along the bus system over here. With some of these things coming out, this might be. Oh no, that should be okay because they'll be going out on the in the spaces. As long as I've remembered how things are supposed to work. TM. So this next belt should be next to this glass one. I think I don't see anything else in the way of the glass. No, so we'll have another belt going along here. Get underneath that one, that seems to be fine. Go to here, and then up a bunch. And then across here. This is where spaghetti is permissible, because it's already a mess over here. And then up to join on there. There we go. Right, there is now a belt of rubber. Lovely. Except it only goes to here. We need a bit more of that. Yeah, the problem is I don't have that much of... Oh, that's in the wrong... Have I gone wrong here? Should this not be where I put it? No, this should be where I put it. I've got the bus right. It's just that... Oh, I've got the thermalite coming out on the wrong side because the CPU belt is in the way. No, I haven't. I've got the thermalite... Oh, it's because my top bus and my bottom bus aren't in sync with each other. They're offset. Oh, that's really stupid. And obviously far too late to do anything about. So I'm probably going to have the same problem over here. Potentially going to have the same problem over here. I don't know. Right, so this comes through over here somewhere. This bit, actually, no, this bit's going to be okay. It's just the sushi systems where it's a bit of a mess because things come up and they go up further. They go through the other bus level. It's going to be mildly annoying, but only mildly so, I think. So it's not going to be too much of a problem. Okay, this is all going to work quite nicely here. So we'll have, and in fact, I think I've made that exactly the right length through sheer sort of coincidence. Yes, I have. Awesome. So let's start off down here with a blue splitter like that, because apparently that's how we roll. Which side are we going out on? We're going out on this side. And then an up ramp and then a belt from here. Going all the way through here like that. And that's an easy one. Don't do that. Then over here we do the same sort of thing again, but with a tier down with the belts. And we go, oh, which side are you supposed to be on? Okay, we're on this side. Blink like that. And then a ramp and then a belt. No, go the other way. No, go the other way. There we go, like that. Yes. And this runs out my face. No. Fly through the gap. There we go. Comes through. Can I have my belt, please? I don't know why that unselected, but it did. So from there, we want to go this way. Go through here. Out the other side. And to there. That's the second easy one. I may not have all the inserters in the right place. That might be something I'm going to have to go back and fiddle and jiggle and stuff. Right, outside. So I put on one of these here. Then we have a down ramp because we're going from the upper bus level like that. Fine. Not quite as easy as I thought it was going to be. Maybe I should have put. Maybe I should have thought a little bit more about which order I was going to put these in. But never mind. So I can go to there, and then we're just going to have to curl this one back like this, and then this can be plumbed straight through here, like that. Stuff. What's going on? Oh, it is working, I think. Yes, it is working. I was just being impatient. Right. So now, how are you getting on? You haven't got your robot parts. Robot parts are in the middle. Okay. And you haven't got your robot parts either. You have got your robot parts, but you haven't got your iron. Iron's on the far side. Oh. I might be going to regret putting the iron and the thing that way round. May have to tweak that. Rather than the rubber. Over here, you've got your robot parts. Right, let's go through. I'm gonna pull out all of these inserters and start again because I think that's going to be. Some of them are going to be wrong basically, and I think the easiest way to fix that is just to pull them all out and start again. So there to there, to there. Oh, for goodness sake. No, do not want. I need a bigger inventory. Inventories in these games are never big enough. I should get rid of those filter inserters. I almost never use those. Right, so this machine requires robot parts and iron. And that's it. The other one requires robot parts and iron. They both require robot parts and iron. Okay, fair enough. So I'll put in one of those there, and one of those there, and there. Okay, so these two machines then require robot parts, iron, and rubber. These don't require the iron. So they require these two require all three. that's a problem. This is why I was saying I think I've got these the wrong way round, because if we had the iron on the other side, then we'd have short inserters here, and there'd be room for another inserter along here. That's annoying, because it's not going to fit, it's not going to work. I'm going to have to swap the iron and the rubber belts over. That's the only way to sort that. Which means I can then take out that one, and that one. Ugh. This is not coming together as smoothly as I hoped. Right, so we're going to feed in one of these into there. Nope. We're going to delete that, and we're going to, oh. Okay, we're going to have that come across to here, and then go up one. Then I can put in the splitter here. This is fiddly and annoying. I should just have absolutely all of the stuff that's needed for these things on massive, ridiculous sushi belts. That's what I'm taking away from this. Because then, if I had it all on massive, ridiculous sushi belts, then I wouldn't have to worry about what was where. It would be horrible. There wouldn't be anything like enough throughput, but it might just work. Right, so I need to get that to over here. So I'm going to need to move that to under here, which is kind of gross. Because then this is going to have to be coming up here like that, and then swinging around from here. So it's not too bad. It's no worse than it was before anyway. There we go. So we do that. Then I go to the other end of here and I gather up all of that iron, all of that rubber, and I get stuck on the sushi belts. Ah! Right. Clear this up. And clear this up. Right, now we start again. So you've got your robot parts, but you also need to have iron. So you can do that and that. That's now sorted. That's the iron coming in there. These machines need everything. So we put in that there, we put in the short one there, and we put in the medium one there, and it fits like that. You see, that actually works. That's much, much better. And then with the over here, it's much easier because we can put them in wherever we want. But I'll put them in the same order anyway, just to be tidy. I say tidy, just to be consistent. Right, so there we go. That now is working for those machines. And then these ones are pretty easier because they only require rubber and robot parts. So that's the two near ones, which is going to be really, really easy. Now to move the iron over to the other side, is just dropping these in is very, very simple. So we can do that and that and that. Right. Phew. That was a much bit more of a headache than it should have been because I got the resources coming in the wrong order for the machines that wanted them. But that now should have us making these things. Yes, we're making heads and shoulders, and we're not outputting them. We're not outputting them because we don't have the belts. That's fine. Let's put the belts in and just build up a stock of these because why not at this point? Yet. So that goes to there. Yay, look at all the shoulders. I mean, torsos. I mean, I don't even know which robot body part that is at this point. I think it might be, it's either heads or torsos. I don't know. I kind of don't care. I can do the same over here. You can go through there to there, like that. And you know what? I'll extend these out a little bit further just in case I do a copy paste over here. Right. So that's that. We've now got two parts of the robot being made, I believe. Yeah, look, the machines are running. We've got stuff going up the belts. That's going to keep some machines very, very happy. However, there's still a bit more to do over here because this machine still needs its hydraulic pistons. So does that one. And this machine, these two machines need their hydraulic pistons and their modular building planners. And how do you make a modular building planner? It's probably just going to be iron plates or something silly like that, but it's a handheld, I believe. It's all these things. Plastic and machinery parts? Really? Okay. So that's probably going to end up going in. I could squeeze it in here behind this machine, but I think that's silly. Actually, it's not that silly because this is where it's going to be needed on this side. If I make it over here, then I have to bring it round. But then there's going to be sushi nonsense going on anyway. If I build it, yeah, if I build it over that side, I'll probably find it's a bit of a squeeze and I have problems. So let's build it over here. So let's go from here. We're going to put in an assembly machine is 3, and we're going to need an inserter, and we're going to need 3 belts. And we're going to need another inserter, possibly on the other side, and then we're going to need a little bit of space for sanity. And we're going to need about that much space for it, because there's not that much to these things. Okay, so one of them, I'm going to put you in here. You don't need anything like this much space, but I'm going to put the inputs on one side and the outputs on the other, just because it feels like a nice, neat thing to do. You are going to make me the handheld clipboards of that thing. Then I'm going to spaghetti them through from here. How am I going to spaghetti them? Maybe I am going to bring them out on this side, just so I've got room to spaghetti a belt up and over this thing. Or through the middle of this thing. Can we go through there? We can. Will we regret it? Probably. It'll come through to about here. Yeah, I could put my spaghetti nightmare into this sort of area over here, perhaps. That might be the best way to do it. Yeah, so I am going to want this area for my spaghetti. Basically another one of these things, but probably mirrored, and actually only for two item types. So maybe it's not. It's actually going to be quite a lot. It's going to be a bit simpler than this one because it's smaller. Right. So you are going to be doing. Yes, you're going to do that. So we can bring polymer board and machinery parts in on one side. We're going to bring the completed whatever these things are called out on the other. We're going to bring them out here. It's going to go to there. Then it's going to go up. Once, like that, because then the other belts can go underneath there, but this can then punch straight through here like this and hit that belt. Ah, fiddlesticks. Where was I going to bring it through? I think it was there, and I just didn't see. Didn't see that belt off in the far distance. So I guess we're going to come to here, then we're going to go that way. We're not going to get through there, are we? No, so we're going to come through here. Right, so there's an output belt. We'll worry about where it goes later. That is future Laurence's problem. We are also going to have 2 input belts, there and there. And so then we're going to have the various types of inserters. We're going to have one of these, and one of these set as an exerter. Right, plastic and machinery parts. Plastic is here. That's a nice easy one. Machinery parts. I think that's right in underneath everything. Yes, there we go. There's machinery parts. I've got a load of yellow belts to use up, haven't I? Because I picked them up from upgrading something. Yes, I have. So we'll stick some of these in here. They can run all the way along here. That's worked really nicely. And that's closer, as you can tell by the way that it is. So we'll use that one first. And that brings it on that side. So we want to have 4 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. We put in a splitter here. And a ramp. And a belt. Done. Then over here we want this to be 1 square further out. And it goes... Oh no, something's gone wrong. No, it hasn't. Everything's... No, this is fine. This goes then... Not there. 1 square forward of that, and also at ground level. Wait, did I get that right? Yes. Nice. So it comes up there. Belt comes across. Plumb into the hole like that. Ta-da. Right, so that's my clipboards. Over here, I need to... So how do I do this? I feed in, priority input, and then a filter splitter on the output. Yeah, that's fairly straightforward. Okay, so over here, I need to have the pistons and the clipboards coming. I am just down to pistons and clipboards now, aren't I? Yeah, pistons in there. Pistons and clipboards there. Yes, good. So let's get the pistons. Here we go, pistons, and they're removed from the outside. Oh, we're running out of pistons as well. That's going to be another thing that's going to need to be upgraded. Joy. And that's somewhere over here, around this part of the monstrosity area. Let's feed them in about here. I can come across from here and go smack into that. Okay, fine. So it goes to there. Then we have a splitter here of a higher tier. Actually, I don't think the tier of splitter matters. I say I don't think the tier of splitter matters, but it clearly did earlier because the system broke. So I am unsure. Alright, so you're feeding parts round, then they come out here, then they go this way, and we split them out into two, and we have a filter on here to say, take the pistons, out to that side, because why not? That is a side. Then we'll bring that from here to here to here to here. Right, so there we go. That's the piston feedback. This is going to be the clipboards coming out, and we've got clipboards coming in here somehow, somewhere. Yeah, these are the clipboards. And they can't go through here because they're too high. Oh, can you come through here in a slightly convoluted way? No. Do I want to come through here like this? Is this going to cause me pain and misery later? Almost certainly. Let's do this, even if it is going to be a bit weird, because then I can sort of more or less line that up with this one, like that. Put in another one of these on the end of here. Come on. There we go. On there, like that. There we go. So that's going to be merging the output of the other output of this one, which comes from here and goes upwards and goes into the back of there, like that. Okay, so that's all correct. Then we have another splitter. We have a down ramp here, which brings that to the right height. Then we have another splitter here, which merges these two. This is logically correct, but it's a bit of a tangle. So that goes to there and there, and then this output comes from here, goes round here, and into there, and then we don't have this bit of belt. So there we go. That is now... It's rather, what's the name? Clipboard heavy on the sushi belt down here, but the pistons are getting put onto it as fast as they come in. We just have a serious shortage of pistons. So I think that is now working. Yes, these machines are all working. Yes, it is a bit of it's a bit of a tangle. Yeah, we've seen worse, right? Maybe. Yeah, it's only mildly horrific. Yeah. Actually, I don't think it's quite as bad as it sort of... It's not quite as bad as it feels, quite as bad as it looks. So my next question is actually, am I making enough of those clipboards. It needs 8 per minute, and I'm making... Actually, it needs 16 per minute, and I'm making 30 a minute. Yeah, so I'm making them twice as fast as they're required. Fine, we're just filling up buffers. So, I guess now it's time to go and worry about hydraulic pistons. And probably steel. And maybe other stuff as well, I don't know. But we're definitely short of pistons. Why are we short of pistons? There's nothing going in on this belt. It's because we're short of steel. Okay, so the piston shortage is actually a steel shortage in a trench coat. How much steel do I need? So I went out and I put in a significant steel production system. But clearly, the significant steel production system is less significant than I'm claiming. We have this this green belt coming in here. We have the belt coming from underground. Yeah, we have this sort of most of a green, well, about half of a green belt, maybe a little bit more than half. It is perhaps not enough, especially when it then goes on to a blue belt. Okay, so job N+1 is going to be head back over here and say, hey, I actually would like to have twice as much of this steel stuff, if you don't mind. What's that going to cost me? Yes, exactly, again, Gims. The pistons are yeah. Yeah, but being able to produce steel in a blast furnace would be rather nice, but for now we can't. We can still at least produce it from the same, from the unlimited iron supplies, but let's go over and find out what the problem is. I suspect the problem is just going to be I haven't put in enough machines. There's a bank of machines producing steel, and it's not enough on its own. Yeah, here it is. These are running flat out. There is some steel, but some steel is not enough steel. Yeah, we have resource coming out here. I think I just copy and paste this over here, another one next to it, and I borrow from all the same inputs and outputs, and it'll be okay. I can use the same elevators for everything. Okay, let's do that. So, copy paste time. Right, I would like to select an area, a new area, please. I will go from there. I will go. No, it's all right. Robots don't cough. I should go from there to there to there. I should do a copy in place. And you know what? I think I'm going to triple this because I want to. And we'll see how we get on with that. Oh, there's a thingy-mabobby in the way. Oh no, it's not in the way. Sweet. 57 things blocked. Okay, can we clear out some terrain? Can we clear out some decor? We can try. Doesn't do any good, but we can try. And then can we confirm the paste again and see how much we're still 44 things blocked. Okay. Is it because of stupid plants? It is probably at least partly because of stupid plants. Let's shoot some stupid plants. Okay, these ones over here work, so there's no problem. There's another plant. I feel like the deserts are worse places to build for the plant with the plant problem, because a lot of the plants are quite small, whereas at least if you're in the forest or the jungle, the plants are absolutely blooming enormous, and so they're really, really easy to spot because they stick up like a sore thumb. I don't think that's everything, but I think if I can switch back over to here and do another paste, maybe I'll be able to see. I should have gone through and prepped the area before I started. That would have been the smart thing to do. We've still got 15 things blocked, which is upsetting. You are a problem. You are not a problem. I'm going to shoot you anyway. How's that? 11 things blocked. 2 things ready. I'm not sure what ready means. Oh, 10 things blocked. Now, I mean, as long as it doesn't stop the machines working, I almost wouldn't care. But I'm pretty sure it will stop them working. Yeah, the other possibility, yeah, is to go full on, is to go skybase, I suppose. Yeah, I could do. I don't like the idea. There's something nice about things being a bit more grounded, but also it is quite annoying when you have these sort of problems. And also, my builds aren't necessarily that grounded. I can run around underneath this one and find out, see if I can spot any problems. I can't. This all looks okay to me. Wait, what's that? No, but you're not a problem, are you? Oh, you're a problem. Now there's 6 blocked, which is better. Are you a problem? Yes, you're a problem. 2. There's no point in looking underneath there. Oh, there. Is that the problem? Are you the problem? No, you're way outside. You're not a problem. You're not a problem, but you look like you should be, so I'm going to shoot you anyway. You look like some kind of stone pineapple. So there are 2 blocks that are going to be... Oh, here we go. Have that sort of problem. These ones down here should be fine because they, I can get underneath these ones and check them out. So I expect these ones to all be all right, and these ones are all okay. So maybe there's a, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe there's an inserter somewhere that isn't going to work. So we'll come back and find that in a minute. But for now, we'll do another confirm paste. Okay, we're down to 1 blockage. I think I'm going to put up with that. I'm going to put up with that for now. And see how we get on. Right, so we need to remove that, remove that, remove that, and that. And then I can come over here and start having more output. So, okay, this one needs to go to the far sides of both of them. So we'll do that first. So I'm just going to need to have that across there. And you know what, let's put this across here as well. So we have something to build on. And an excuse to shoot some more trees. Or stone pineapples, as it were. And whatever those things are. Stone cactuses. Right, so, try it again. Now, so I want 2 exerters. Here and here. And I want belts to run from them. These seem to be... Hang on, so you go into the far side of the middle and they can be green belts, okay. I'm not going to have the throughput on the input to this elevator, but doing this allows me to find out what I'm missing. Far side of the input, like that. There we go. Hello, little armadillo type creature. Then over here, similar sort of thing. Try and be square. Right, so we have another 2 of these guys here and here. And what colour belt? We're getting blue belts. Ooh, we're not going to have, definitely not going to have the throughput for this. But we'll start with these anyway, just because. So you need to go in there. That's fine. Oh, that's on me. I pressed the wrong mouse button. Right, so that's going to be some of that coming through. I can get rid of a couple of bits of belt here and put in a ramp. Like, actually, put the ramp in there. And then that goes... Oh, come on. Put it where I want. There we go. Put that there. And then you can go from there and link into there. Simple. And then this one, basically the same thing. Comes out here. Goes up to there, then up to there, and then along over here. Get to here where it can go down a layer until it gets to here. No. Here. Why aren't you getting sucked into the machines? Once again, put a ramp there and then feed the belt in like that. Right, so okay, we can see there's clearly not enough coal coming out here. There's also clearly not enough iron coming out, but still, we've now got more machines, and therefore can, in theory, the machinery is not the limiting factor at this point. Basically, the limiting factor is the processing. Is the ore production. So we'll bring this over to here, and we'll bring this over to here as well. And I should expand this like that. And then I put in some, you guessed it, more inserters, but these are going to be inserters rather than exerters. And we can load them in. Right, so we are now making steel as fast as we possibly can, given the resources that are available to this system up here. So, in order to get this to go faster, we need just more stuff coming up from below. And that might be a challenge, because the coal in particular is being brought over from the coal is being brought over from down here, which is a very, very long way to run it, which is a little bit silly. But you know, we need that supply. So that is my current infinite coal supply. So producing it from there, bringing it all the way up to here, and then, well, as you can see, there's not an enormous amount of it available. So we need to increase that somehow. Also, the iron seems to be a little bit limited, so I might need to increase that as well. So let's go downstairs and have a bit of a poke around and see what we've got going on over here, because I can't remember. So we have got it's this one over. Nope, it's this one over here. So we have, as you can see, the coal is going in at the rate it arrives at. Basically, it's coming in. We've got a green belt of coal arriving, and then a little bit of it's going through here to go into the blast furnace. Most of it is going down here to go up the elevator to go into the steel production. Okay, so that's not. I mean, that's as good as it's going to get around here, and it isn't really good enough. Then we've got basically an entire blue belt of iron ore coming. We've got a slightly gappy now blue belt of iron ore coming in. Great. Is this being crushed at all, or is this just straight out? No, this is just straight out of the mine. So my question is, how much are we bringing up, and are we using all of the points on this vein here? So 17 drill points available. I assume I've used all of this floor. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this floor. However, I note with some interest that these belts are not flowing flat out. So that tells me that I could pull a little bit. I could pull any excess off these ones and feed it over onto this belt, which is currently struggling, and maybe get a little bit more through. There's also additional coal coming through here, and that's coming from this coal patch up here. So I could pipe some of that through into the steel making, but this is a coal patch which will run out eventually. So there is a strong downside to using that one. Alternatively, I could go out and claim this one. This is, as far as I can tell, the closest coal vein to my whole production system over here. And it ain't exactly close. I wish I had trains. There's another one down here, another 2 down here, but then that would require running them over to the main tunnel over here, and then extend, and then putting more long belts into that. There's one over here, which is very close to a tunnel, so I could put stuff in from there, but again, that might be less effort because there already is a tunnel. But then the boring machine makes tunnels fairly quickly and easily. But then you have to lay power down them and stuff like that. Yes, I am using the better steel recipe. There are yeah, there's quite a lot of crushing. I'm 99% sure there's lots of crushing going on above. Right, so let's tap off any. Yeah, so that belt isn't actually quite full. So if I tap off any spare iron from these 2 belts, I can add it onto that one, which will at least mean we'll have a full blue belt going in there. And then I can think about whether I can get another blue belt going in. So let's go. Stop picking up seeds. You don't want them. They're useless. They're just annoying. Is there anything else? Yeah, and same with, well, the biomass, as I said earlier, is slightly useful. I don't want this rubber. I don't want 4 circuit boards. I want logistic disposal systems, so I can just get rid of these things without feeling even the tiniest bit guilty. Right. Take out a couple of chunks there, and we'll do this one first, and then come back to the other one afterwards. So, a splitter goes in there. It has its output priority set to that side, and it has a ramp, and then we have a gap there into which we put a blue splitter, and sure, upgrade, why not? And then we feed another blue belt in there. Lovely. Then we have another one of these here. Like that. And this can come all the way across the top of the tunnel here. This is going to make it annoying to get down the tunnel, but I don't care. Right, and then I can drill out a chunk here like this. Ramp, ramp, splitter, splitter, break, break. And this will be an up ramp there. And a piece of belt goes in that corner where you can't, okay, you can see. Right, so there we go. That's now a bit more being we're feeding up the excess that's coming from the original mine that's feeding the blast furnace. If there's any spare, we'll feed it into the new system, and I want to prioritize that side because this is just to tap off any excess. Right, so that is a bit more, and I think what I'd like to do as well here is put in another splitter here. That's not a splitter. Here. And another up ramp here. With this being, with this being prioritized to that side. So now if I do find any more iron, any old iron, I can bring it in, bring it along here, and yeah, we should be able to get a bit more through. So we said there are 5 belts of 5 mining drills on this level. We have more iron coming up in this elevator. Five. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 on this level. Is that because I haven't explored this level completely? Yes. There is one around the back that I haven't tapped. No, there isn't. Here it is. Right, so we've got 5 on this level as well. No, there's 6 on this level. 2 here, 2 there, and 2 on the far side. So we've got 5, 11, and it said 17 on the whole patch. So I can go down to that level down there, and there should be another 6 down there that I can grab, and that will get me another. Well, that'll get me another 6. Which is, I don't know how much of a belt. Right, so this thing is capable of doing 2 blue belts. So I could bring another blue belt. I could bring another. Yeah, another 6 drills will be 3/4 of a blue belt, I think. So that should be all right. So if I go back up here, grab some coal, because I threw away all my wood. Then I can put the boring machine in and start digging away down here. Right, boring machine, where are you? You are here. Boop. You go in the hole like that. Right. Drop in here. Okay, I am at a height of 52, so the bottom of this is at 51. If I do another scan ping, 51, that is at a height of 20. So I need to go down 31. So you can have that coal, and we will go down 31, down, down. I suppose I should run power down while I'm at it. Oh goody, we've come out in the underworld. Actually, this is good because it makes it a bit easier to go around and find the mining points, I think. Or at least maybe it makes it easier. I am not quite sure. Anyway, we've come out the bottom. We don't need the boring machine anymore, so I'll pick that back up again. Right, where is the seam? Ah, there it is. So, somewhere in here... Do I still have any... I do have throwing explosives. Awesome. This would be a much more fun way of finding my way in there. I should get rid of these, really. I don't actually need throwing explosives. I've got much better ways of digging holes though these days. But these are kind of fun. Not gonna lie. Right, so let's put in some foundation for this to all sit on, so it doesn't look too ridiculous. About that big. Then over here, I'm still not finished digging it all out, so I'll do that. Right, there we go. Exactly, not yeah, fun to play with. You're exactly right. Could we not have any of this, please? I don't think biomatter is actually useful, to be honest. Okay, sure. It's you can run some of your you can run the boring machine off it. I'll give you that. But that's about the only possible use it has, as I've discovered. I can't remember how I'm making my explosives. It's been so long. I was definitely making them from biomatter at one point, but I think that's sort of long gone. I think I'm making them from petroleum now because there's something that needs them. I think it might be one of the one of the robot types needs explosives. So so for those, I'm making them in a fully automatable way. Is that cleared out enough? I think it might be. I didn't check before I started doing this whether I actually had any vein miners. Yes, I've still got 8. Sweet. Which way you point? Okay, you are pointing the right way. So put you in the corner there, like that, and then put you next to him like that. But there's stuff in the way, isn't there? Yes. Right, okay, more clearing needed. Actually, I think that's it. Now we should be alright. Yeah, there we go. Right, so that's my first 2 ore miners. Lovely. So we can pull ore out of that and then send it somewhere around there to wherever the bottom of my hole is and try and ship it out. So there's also going to be some patches over here somewhere. I think. Yes, there they are. That's going to be fun to get to. I guess this is going to be another place to play with the explosives. Yep, that's quite close to my face. I mean, I know I'm indestructible, but still. Yeah, nice. Only a little bit left. and we can deal with that. Alright, and then some foundation for them to sit on. Oh, I haven't gone far enough. I forget how big the big drill things are sometimes. Of course, they're quite big. That's big enough to put them in, but we're going to have an issue getting stuff out, getting the resources out. Maybe we'll take out a couple of pieces, a couple of chunks here like this, and then take out that as well. There we go. Now I think I can fit them in, and fit them in nicely as well. So we want two, nope, that way around. Business end towards the rock face, please. One goes there, one goes there. Oh. Fine, be like that. And there. I think that's right. Yes, there we go. They need plugging in, of course, but they're at least in place now. And then I guess the other two must be round on this side. Yes, there we go. There's a lot of rock to battle through to get to those. How many explosives? I've got 7 explosives left. Surely that's going to be alright. Enough. Oh, actually, no. Oh, no, those are the 2 I'd have just done. Right, I'm glad I didn't start mining through there. So, let's try again. Round here. Are they on this side? No, they must be on the other side. Here we go, yes. I've lost track of how far round this area I've been underground now, so let's just do some blowing up of things. That was quite satisfying, lots of clattery, rocky noises. Oh, that's my lot. I think it was when the stalactites drop down. That's what makes the satisfying sound. Right, so now I can clean out a bit of this as well because that's still in the way, despite my gratuitous use of explosives. But there's a nice big chunk of copper patch sticking out there. So let's put in the final 2 ore miners for this area. Oh no, well, let's put in some flooring for them first because otherwise I won't. All right, so you go from there, yes, there. But I guess your front edge is going to be about there. So I want to go up to 13. And then a couple more for strategic purposes. Which means I need to get rid of this bit of wall. Oop. And I suppose I could get rid of that, but I don't think I need to. That's not going to be too much in the way. Right, and then the vein miners go in. Oh, they're under O for ore vein. That's why I was struggling to find them before. One there. One there. Don't be offset. That looks weird. I'll have to gap there. Yeah, I'll have to gap to the front. Yeah, don't do that. That looks weird. And also, there isn't really room for you to be offset like that. There we go. That's better. Okay, so now let's play Where is the Way Out? Has anybody seen my hole? Nope, that's a mining drill. And actually, it should be pretty obvious on the map. Let's do this. So it's, yeah, over there. It should be over there. Oops. It would, but yes, if I'd left the you're quite right. If I'd left the mining machine there, it would have been much easier to spot. Am I going to have to go back up to the surface to come back down again and find it? Because I thought that... Oh, no, that's one of the drills. No, it'll be round here. Oh, it's probably there. That'll be it. So it's quite a long way away. There we go. Here it is. But yes, you're right. Let's put down some sort of monument to man's arrogance. I mean, to where my hole is. I can't put it there, apparently. It's not in lava, it's on lava. There we go. Nice big patch of sand to mark the mark the location. So, all those drill areas are at a height of... What? Try again. Ping. All those drills are at a height of 20. So we want the lift to be at about a height of 20. Which is about there. There we go. Let's build you from here over to there, because then it looks like it's actually solid and supported and stuff, and other words beginning with S. In fact, let's make it a bit wider than that. Let's make a platform over here for everything to sit on. Then I can put my elevator... Right, so I want my elevator to go down this hole, obviously. What I was thinking, which is a little bit weird, I know, was to have the elevator unload and then unload into this elevator, because then everything is going to be kept nice and balanced. So I think I'll do that, which means I'm going to want to dig a hole in the wall here that is sized for an elevator. Like that. And then it's going to be an elevator top, which goes in here. Like so. Then I want to dig across here. Like that. And then that goes there. That goes there. One of them there. And one of them there. Then I can drop down here again. And I can put the bottom part of this elevator in down here. One of them. But bottom. Like that. And this is where I now have to feed stuff to, which is fine. I do also want to bring power, low voltage power down. And we have a convenient thing here, so I can continue this. Yeah, this is quite a long way away from the actual mining area, but I feel that's sort of... I'm not going to say it's inevitable. Because of the shape of the veins, you can't build into them quite the way you can't build down close to them the way I typically want to. It just doesn't work like that. Okay, stop being two-dimensional. Right, there we go. There. Yeah, you can't build as close to them as you'd like, because you keep running. If you do, you'll run into all kinds of horrible issues with not being able to with running into the vein itself, because it's a funny shape, and therefore if you try and build along next to it, it doesn't work. So I tend to end up building... What are we trying to build now? I tend to end up building a bit further away from it, and then having long tunnels, or in this case, just elevated belts. So, where are we in relation to the whole shenanigan? It's way off that way. Okay. So if I dig a tunnel through here to go to that one first, then we can work it out from there. So, tunneling time. Let's use this tool because it's so much easier. There to out. 33, sure. By 2. Especially with the hard and... Fine. Yeah, carry on through there, why not? And then... Right, so over here. So from here, I can use a green belt at this point, because there's only 2 of them. A green belt will support up to 4 of these drills, I believe. So this is fine. And if I whack a one of these on the okay, I'm gonna dig this out because this is silly. I don't know how much rock there is here actually. I may have set myself a rather large task at this point. Yeah, this is significant. Okay, well that's fine. This is stop bumping into things and falling out of the sky. Right, this is fine. We can have a belt come from here and head over to my system thing over here like this. And this is then going to want to go to there, and then I think from here I'm going to want to turn this into a blue belt. So I'll put one of these on. Stop falling out of the sky, for goodness sake! Just because you touched a stalactite and got creeped out, I don't care. Why will you not place that on there? Right, so that goes there. Then we have a fast belt come from here, straight down the tunnel I just dug, hopefully. Yeah. To there. I'll sort that out in a bit. Right, so that's my first two drills. They're not powered yet, but you know, baby steps. The next ones, I can't remember where anything is here. So is it 2 there, and then 2 around that side? Yes, it is. Okay. So let's bring these out to. Yeah, I'll run the belt across sort of over here somewhere. That's all fine. So once again, I need to put in a splitter here, and then belts. This is kind of fiddly. There. So that's going to pull everything out of those, and then this can come out to here and then go. I don't know. It can come out to here, and then we'll shoot some of these blooming stalactites because they're ridiculous. And then it can go over there somewhere over there, wherever the thing, wherever the other belt is. I can see the other belt. I'm just shooting stalactites because they're horrible. Right, so it'll come over here, and then okay. Maybe actually I want to put the splitter in a little bit further over this way because there's no point in going all the way over there. So this belt can come from here through here. Over here. This is actually harder to work with than just solid rock would be. Solid rock, you just dig tunnels through and you go, yep, that'll do. But this stuff, you end up feeling like, well, you've got all the open air to play with, so it should be easy, but it isn't. It's just frustrating. Alright, and then over here we have the same sort of shenaniganery going on again, where I will put in a splitter like this. Come on, put the splitter. And then belt goes there. Belt goes there. And then mining drones go. Where are we? You're not mining drones. You're mining drones. What? Mining drones, right. I think there. And I can run this one. Plumb through the hole. Will we come out on the other end? No. Where am I? Okay, not quite far enough across yet. So I want to get to 829. Okay. I'm just going to go back to the start. Go back through the tunnel again, because it's easier than trying to find the little exit I came out through. Oh, come on. Stop getting caught on things. Stop falling out of the sky as well. I'm glad there's no lava damage, or no falling into the lava damage, because if there was, this dropping out of the sky because your jetpack decides that, oh, actually, maybe you don't want to be flying, would be even more annoying. I think it happens when you stand on something, but sometimes when you're standing... No. Sometimes when you're standing on things, you're not actually properly standing on something, so it just sort of all goes horribly wrong. Try and create a little bit more space here so I can actually manoeuvre. There we go. Right. This tool. So I want to get to 829. So that's about. I don't care. Just go that way by another sort of 28. Be fine. It doesn't matter. We don't care about making a mess down here. This area of the world hates us. 29. Hurrah. So it's this. I'm going to go through here. Actually, no, I want to be one more over so we don't go straight into the side of it. So, let's carry on. Like that. Now I can continue this belt. Oh. I'm one too high. Goodness sake. Right. That way. Through the hole, yeah. Smashy, 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 smashy. This is. I feel like I'm only just inside the rock. I feel like I'm only just inside the rock because I am only just inside the rock here. But this does feel a little bit silly. I could have gone down and gone underneath quite a lot of this stuff, but I've had enough of the way this particular part of the world is messing me around. So I thought, you know what, sod it. We're just going to blast our way straight through and pretend we're way underground. Well, we are way underground. Pretend we're in solid rock rather than this sort of open weird area of difficulty. So, sort of curiosity. Okay, so we've gone through one of these pillar things. There's quite a few bits where there's just belt poking out of the bottom of the rock. That's kind of amusing. Right, so anyway, that is going to get... This belt will be full because we've got 4 drills dumping onto a green belt, and that's capacity. Then over here, we've got 6 drills dumping onto a blue belt, and that is 3/4 capacity. So that is going to be absolutely fine. In fact, this bit along here, we don't need that there. We don't need that to be blue. We do need that to be linked. Right, so we've got a green belt here that's going to be bringing in from 2 drills. A green belt's going to be bringing in from 4. That's a total of 6 out of the 8 that it can support. So with this belting is going to be fine. The other thing we need, however, is going to be power. So through here, I have some power somewhere in here. I have a power connector. Yes, there we go. Lovely. So, how are we going to do this? Well, I guess we're going to run it to here. Here. Go to there, that can go to there, lovely. Then we'll take some power from there as well. Bring it through here. It's too far. I'm kind of just completely ignoring all the yellow warnings. I may or may not come back and dig some of these out, because it's mostly just the game being a bit silly. Although sometimes I am doing silly things that shouldn't be allowed. Where's the other one over here? Okay, it's in... Well, plug you in. And then we'll do a little bit more digging here so we can... Oh, wait. Oh, it's over there! Right, I understand. And you're not going to let me run another cable from this one, are you? You're going to tell me this one's full? Oh, no, you're not. There we go. Alright, so that's 4 of them plugged in. There's just the initial pair, the ones that are all the way round back over through here somewhere, that are going to be still need to be connected up. Right, so I can I run you to you? No. But I can run you to that and you to that. And I can run that to the outside world somehow. You're not even linked. Could you be linked, please? Yes. Like that. Where is power? Power is, I guess, round this way. But not really, because there's no way through there. Oh, here we go. Here's some power. Right. Okay. That is all of them now producing, I believe. Coming to here. Lovely. Right, and now I can whack in one of these guys here and finish this belt off like that and say, no, actually, you're meant to be an inserter. Shoop. And that's a less full belt than I was expecting. That looks like more like half than 3/4 to me. Let's go out there and check that they're all running. So I wouldn't be too surprised if they weren't, because it's easy to mess these things up. Right, these guys are not. Okay, they've only just started, rather. Okay, I was being impatient. Fine. So we've got quite a lot coming out here. There we go. Are you both happy? You look happy. I think they're alright. They're both plugged in, so it should be fine. Then over here we have a solid... This looks like a pretty solid green belt. Have I got the numbers wrong here? Because these are building up an inventory. There's 160 per minute, and I've got 6 of them. These can do 160, so 320. 2 of those is 640. Yeah, so that should be fun. Sorry, 4 drills, 2 pairs of drills. So yeah, this should be okay. This should be running at exactly the right speed, which means we shouldn't be building up a buffer. Yeah, sorry, we shouldn't be building up a buffer in these machines, and we do seem to be gradually depleting it. We shouldn't be actually depleting it. It should be staying exactly the same. But you know what? I'm going to call that good. Maybe I'll upgrade from here. Let's upgrade this bit to blue as well, because I feel like it can't hurt. I don't think it's necessary, but it'll allow for a certain amount of burstiness if we want to use the buffers in the machines. And that... no. Ah, and it's been prioritized. Prioritizing that one shouldn't matter. Shouldn't make any difference. Oh well. Yes, I'm an electrician, hiding all the ugly stuff, as you said. Well, I suppose I could go back in and with my little lasery thing and shoot out some of the stalactites I've offended, like these ones, or some of the stalactites that have offended me, more like. But you'll notice that the game is fairly... Oop, that one's definitely going through. But generally, the game is kind of generous with the clipping, but also kind of tight with... It doesn't have a very good understanding of the shape of things. So where it says no, you're going to clip on that stalactite, so I'm going to give you a warning, you probably aren't. However, sometimes yes, there are places where I'm just blatantly going straight through the rock here. So we'll do something about that, because that does look a bit wrong, I will admit. So we'll tidy that up. And there we go. You see, it wasn't as bad as I was implying when I was laying it. But more to the point, that is now me falling out of the sky again. A solid blue belt of iron ore going in there. So, go up to here. We now having half a blue belt going in from each of these. Great, that's as you'd expect. In fact, so that means if I then come back up to here, I can do that and this. And just like that, we've got twice as much. That wasn't what I meant to do. That, then that, and that. We've now got twice as much iron ore available. And, this is where I was going to link it in with that one. I'm not sure it's worth it. It's been... I'm not sure it's worth it because it's being balanced by the elevator here. So I might just bring this along here. What are you doing? Right, there we go. Yeah, I might just bring this along here and just shove this into the elevator as well. Yeah, so to here. Somehow, I don't know what it is, but somehow I keep right-clicking instead of releasing the left mouse button. And whenever I do that, it cancels whatever I was building, which is why I deliberately stopped building at that point. Sorry, so stopped planning and actually built at that point because I knew I was going to end up doing it again. So, here we go. Here is lots and lots of iron. Let us bring it across here and then bring it down behind this wall. So that's my first drop. That's the second drop. That's the third drop. And it's going to need a bit of space to get in there. So I think... Oh, I've miscounted. Zap, zap, and maybe that's it. Alright, so now I can get my blue ramps out. Number 4, and you would want a down slope. We want you there. Boom, boom, boom. Like that. Then we can remove this, 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 this. Belt goes in. Belt comes out. And then an inserter to shake it all about. Right, so that is now that inserter. Let's switch that back to the default. There we go. Right, so that is now enough iron ore. However, it's probably not enough coal ore. A grappling hook would be interesting, certainly. Yeah. Okay, look at the speed that's running at. We now have enough iron ore, so that is a success. However, I suspect a large part of the reason we have enough iron ore is because we don't have enough coal ore. How much? I only have 1,001 level 4 belts. How much would it cost me to upgrade this? 2,500. Great. I did say that I could bring in that other belt from over here, but I'm very aware that this belt is not going to last forever, so I don't really want to do that. But I'm also aware that the amount of coal I have coming out of the other ore patch is somewhat limited. So I guess what I'll do is I'll upgrade this, and I'll upgrade this. I've run out of ramps. I was going to say, and I'll upgrade this with the other 1,000, but I'm missing a slope. And I don't know where I'm missing a slope. could borrow... Let's borrow one of these. I don't want to downgrade the whole thing. Let's do that. Don't let me forget I've done that, because I will be very, very sad. Then I will upgrade the 1,000 and whatever that I can. Then I'll go and try and find another 1,500. That will give me a massive boost of coal for the time being. And then maybe I can find the other end of it and upgrade it from... Or find the middle of it and upgrade it from there. We will see. But anyway, that's a good start. So now I can go back up here again. And see how things are getting on. I can't get out. That's a good hole. Alright. So now, with all of that flooding through... Even then, we're still a bit short of the coal coming out. Because I've put in 1 blue belt and I'm taking out 1.5 blue belts at the other end. However, if we've got 2 blue belts of iron going in and 1 blue belt of coal, we should be balanced, I think. Because I think it's a 2-to-1 recipe. But anyway, yes, we can now get all these machines going. We should, in theory, have a load of extra steel available. There is more steel going in here, certainly. The question is, how much more, and is it enough? And I guess I better go back and get some more. I've got another 600 belts already. That's not bad. Am I trying to claim up to 1,000 of them? Blue belts. Yes, I'm trying to get up to 1,000 blue belts. So that's why I hadn't been running out of those. Let's get some ramps. Yeah, it's not going to be enough steel yet, but if I can upgrade that coal belt, and if somehow that coal belt mystically doesn't run out of coal, because I suspect there's not... I don't know how much coal I'm producing. I think I've completely... I've put in as many drills as I can on the coal vein, I think. So I don't know. I don't think that's going to go up any higher. Your splitters. Do I need more blue? Yeah, let's have some more splitters. And some more blue slopes. And some more blue belts in general. Give me all of those. Right. Yeah. So I'm pulling the coal out of the ore vein as fast as it can be pulled out. Must be this top one, mustn't it? The other two have stopped. However, given these two aren't running constantly, maybe it's going to be fine. So let's upgrade you. Right, that is now flowing. The other end of that must be blue. That must be the correct one, because that's flowing flat out, and it wouldn't be if there was anything other than a blue belt at the other end of it. That's a good question. I don't know if you can workstation the ore mine. You can. I believe the increase in the mining productivity only decreases the amount of fracking fluid you use, so you don't actually get more out, unfortunately. I don't know whether you can beacon them though. Sorry, workstation them in this game. So I'm going to fly over to the coal mine. I'm going to see what's going on over there. Whether the belt has blued all the way back to the to where it comes out of the whatever the last elevator is, and have a little bit of a think about whether it seems like we've got enough. I'll probably stop in over here and have a look at the electronic circuit production on the way past and just have a bit of a feel for that. But I think that's probably all right. We will see. And then I'll go back over and see what the steel supply is like, and whether I've just stolen everything, and whether it's keeping up, how things are going. And then I guess I can see if we're making pistons, because that was where this whole chain got started. And let's try and drop into that hole. No, missed. Boink, 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 boink. Right, so there we go. That is a lovely blue belt going all the way back into a... Okay, there's a blue splitter at the end of it. That surprised me slightly, but okay. Let us upgrade these two belts, though, just because I feel like that's a good idea. If that one is feeding everything, and this one is just feeding that one. Let's prioritise the input there. So we'll pull out of here if we can, but if there's ever not enough coming through here, then we can steal a little bit from that one. I think that's probably a sensible way to do things. And also, I feel like I needed to make a... Oh, that's coming from above. That's really strange. Right, yeah, and I feel like I need to justify having come all the way over here and actually do something with the system. So yeah, we've got an interesting. It's interesting that we've got a blue splitter there. Maybe I was planning to upgrade this to blue all along, and I've only just got around to it. Right, so that's good. That seems to be working. We may run into coal shortages in the future, but for now, things are all right. Yes, you're right. I do need to go and swap that green ramp back over to a blue one. That is an excellent point. All right. Copper is happening over here. This is my green circuit production. It's still being done by aeroplane, which is kind of gross. It should be done by massive long underground belts, but never mind. It's okay for things to get left in for historical reasons. Ah, this is interesting. There's now not actually all that many casting machines along here producing copper. Presumably because there's so much there's so much less demand. Well, we're not making green circuits as fast as we sometimes do. Have we got enough green circuits that the system over here is full or something? No, green circuits are still steadily being made. So I don't know why those belts aren't running solidly, but nah, I'm not too worried about that. I'm not going to worry about that until we have a green circuit problem. The belts going down into here, though, these are running very slowly because now there's very little demand on the copper over in the main base because virtually all of the copper is now was being used to make the electronic components, and now those are being made here. We're using these casting machines quite heavily, and as I say, only 3/4 of the machines along here. Do we want more electronic components? How are we doing? No, we are actually making enough at the moment. That said, just because we're making enough doesn't mean we're not going to need more later. So let's do what I was talking about previously and take this belt here. I just have too many belts from various things. We'll take that and this. No, not that. Don't leave a hole in the floor. We'll take out this belt. There's enough here that I'm going to use this tool to take out all of that. Oh, and apparently the floor underneath it because I was careless. Take out all of that, and then bring this belt from here to here, where I would like to use a splitter to merge it. But I'll do that, and I'll do that. Actually, you know what? No, this doesn't work. I've tried this before in previously. It doesn't work nicely. So I'm going to put in a splitter, my unloader there, make that into an output. And I'm going to remove that, and then I can remove that. Lose a load of that stuff. Right, and then I can put this in here, and these can just be green belts at this point. These can just be green belts at this point. It doesn't matter. They aren't gonna. It's here where it needs to be a blue belt and have the full throughput. So let's drop that back down to being green. Let's clean out this belt because it ain't doing anything. And also clean out these ones as well, I guess. And I guess, yeah. And I might end up wanting to put some of this back later, but for now, we've still got 1.5 blue belts going in here, and we've got the other 2 blue belts going off the other side. So I feel like we're potentially using this area quite heavily if we need it. And these, as you can see, these are the ones that are going on to, these are the ones that are topping up the belts that are coming from the other blast furnace into the tunnel to supply whatever. So the other one provides green circuits and some overflow goes to the factory. This one provides electronic components and overflow that goes to the factory. So it's probably fine. And we have plenty of it. So if I fly down here now, we should see that the copper is getting all the way to all of these. All the machines down here should now be running, or at least certainly should be capable of running. But I'm not sure I see as much excitement as I was expecting to along here. And the end machines can't... Oh no, they can be full. Whatever. We don't have a solid belt going through here. But now, we can have a solid blue belt going out of there if we need it later. Right. No, I don't need the detonator. I don't. There's a couple of things I don't need actually. I'll dump some junk on my way through the factory this time as I go over to sweep and see what else is struggling. So let's have a look for the pistons now, because that was the problem previously. They're still a bit struggly. In fact, they're still a lot struggly. Like there aren't enough of them over here. Steel is still insufficient. Now, interestingly, we do seem to be gradually backing up. Ooh, I feel like this is trying very, very hard to fill up this belt, and just not quite managing it. Maybe because the piston production or whatever is down here is using up. Yeah, the piston production is using up just that bit too much of the resources coming in. So it'll take whatever. So okay, so we still need more steel. So let's go over and investigate that a little bit further. On the way through, I will unload some green belts because I'm pretty sure I've got a ridiculous number of them now, having been upgrading stuff quite a lot. So I'll get rid of, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll keep 1,500 of them. I don't think we need to do that anymore because we're limiting by belt. We're limiting by logic rather than by filling a box up. So you two are making this row are making the greens. So yes, let's dump into them. Oh, come on, stop getting stuck on things. Urgh. No splitters. 300 belts, fine, good. Get some out of my inventory, and 16 ramps, lovely. And over here, have I got any red stuff? Probably no red stuff. I don't think I've been playing around with that. That shouldn't be quite so. No, I'm just putting in electronic components here, which is fine. Doesn't matter, but it's a little silly. Right, what's in this box? Robots. Okay, it's this box here. No, it's not. It's this box here that I want to dump stuff into. So let us get rid of all of these assembly line parts because they're good to have, but I don't need them right now. Then destroy the energy cells. Don't care about those. I do want the excavation thing. I don't want the explosive detonator. You're quite right. I don't want the filter loaders. I don't need flare stacks at the moment. I don't need a fracking tower at the moment. I'll hang on to the coal. You never know. I might want to use the boring machine. I could get rid of these light poles. I haven't been using lights. Orbital uplink I do use. I should get some more ore vein miners. Could put that in here, but it's full. Right, okay, the box is full and my inventory is a bit less full, so I think we'll call that good. And we'll get some more vein miners if I can find them. Right, what goes into a vein miner? Resource gathering, vein miner. Yeah, it's just basic stuff, so it's going to be along here somewhere. There we go. So let's take those and then let's put the 2 back in here. So I've got a full stack of 10. That's going to be enough to do some good upgrades on any mine I go to. Oh yeah, let's get rid of the data cables. Good idea. They go in a separate, much bigger box. These boxes are clearly the wrong way around. I should be putting the random junk in the in this box and the data stuff in the smaller box, but yeah, basically. Right, let's go and upgrade that ramp and have a look at the steel production over there, because I've tripled the number of machines and I've doubled the inputs, so I would expect to be getting twice as much steel out, which is a significant amount of steel, but clearly still not enough, but it feels like it should be a good amount. Right, what's going on over here? Yeah, okay, there's a shortage. Okay, there's a shortage of iron now, which might be due to that ramp I nicked. So let's upgrade that and see how things go then. So down here, that, upgrade that. There we go. Now it's a blue belt all the way through. So that is an extra third on what we had before. And we've got the coal pouring through here at a rate of virtually a blue belt, so that's pretty good. But notice it is just still going. It's pouring straight through. We're not hitting capacity on any of these. Nothing is filling up. So we still don't actually have enough of anything, which is a little bit upsetting. I say that, most of the coal belts are running slightly staccato up here, so... But then 3 green belts running jerkily could well be 1 blue belt running flat out. So, but that does tell me that we have enough coal here for the amount of iron ore. The fact that the iron ore belts are running out with gaps on them tells me we don't have enough iron ore. But I think that's kind of a given, that we weren't going to have enough resources because I've tripled this and only doubled the inputs. So there should be too much. So it should be too many machines. I will need to get more inputs if I want this to run flat out. But yeah, to answer the earlier questions, yes, we've got a machine here crushing, the row of machines crushing the coal, row of machines crushing the iron, and then, half a row of machines crushing the coal, a full row of machines crushing the iron, and then half a row of machines combining them, then feeding them into the smelters over here to create the steel. And actually, these belts are full. So we have enough steel to fill up the belt. I wonder if there's just a green belt carrying the steel back over to the main factory. That would explain the shortages. How do I... Oh, there. Maybe if I upgrade that to a blue belt, we'll get a bit more through. Boink, 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 boink. Yeah, it is in fact a green belt carrying, taking the steel through. So, do I have the wherewithal to upgrade this? Yes. Only going to take 850. Boop. So now, this steel belt presumably goes all the way back to the main factory and into an elevator, I hope. And the other end of that elevator may not be a blue belt. We should probably go and check, because now that I've doubled the rate this can take it through at, I don't know how many iron ore it takes to make 1 steel. Let's see if we can work it out on the way back. Metallurgy. So steel is this one. It's this one that takes 1 to make 2. So we're doubling at that stage. I've overshot. Right, comes through here. Steel comes down here. Still a blue belt. This shows the magic of the upgrade tool. And then goes in here and is taken up in the elevator. Is this person accessible? Yes. Zoop. Come up here, fly straight out the top because got a little bit carried away. Go back into the inspection level, and yes, here we go. This is only a green belt. So, upgrade you. So now we have a blue belt coming out the top. That's this one, and it goes straight into a green splitter. Great. So that ain't going to work. Upgrade you. Then upgrade you. Don't care about that one. A yellow belt is apparently fast enough. And I'm not going to upgrade things just for funsies. I'm going to upgrade them because they are insufficient for my needs. Can we upgrade that as well? There we go. Still got 109 left. That didn't go very far then. Comes around here, and da-da-da-da. Okay, So now we are chucking in a solid blue belt, virtually. There's going to be some gaps on it because of that yellow belt and the various other belts that are taking steel off this one. But that's doing pretty well. The old system that was producing it has now died completely by the looks of it. But that is a good that is a healthy amount of steel. And we're probably going to use it all up within seconds, but it feels like a good healthy amount of steel. Look at that, how empty that is already. Nope. Oh no. I was going to say, yes, but it is now backing up and stuttering along here. Okay, good. Things are now significantly... Oh, it's because it's feeding onto a green belt. But the green belt isn't running flat out either. I think we might have solved the steel crisis. And all it took was about 5,000 blue belts. So that's pretty good. So now all of these machines are running. The question is that enough pistons? Now, it's not enough pistons yet, but there is always going to be some buffer filling going on. So let's fly down here and have a look. I mean, at the moment, no, they're all going in here. However, the new one I put in does seem to be... Oh, because it'll have filled up. Yes, it's filled up completely, because I haven't told the spaceport at the end what to do yet. So as soon as I turn that on, we're going to start using more of these pistons. But that's filling up nicely. Let's give it a moment or two to actually fill up. Because if we fill up the belts, then it's a bit easier to tell how many... then it's easier to tell whether the production rate is sufficient. Because at the moment, we can look here and we can go, I don't know, the belt isn't full. But we know from looking down here that the belts are filling up. So we are seeing the number of them... The belt is filling up, so eventually it'll get back there. Although that said, we'll be able to see by following where it's filling up along. So I think I'll be okay. So, all right, we'll come over here. Forget what I just said. I am going to configure this, and we're going to start shipping the operator robots to the space station. Configure shipping pad. Transport from the factory to the space station, and these are operator robots, which is that guy. Confirm. Make that into a really large number, just so we never get partial ships flying. Confirm. And, right, you should now fill up. Something's not working. Okay, we've got torsos. We have missing power or items. It's not missing power. None of them are missing power. So we're not making heads. What? I'm sure we're making heads. Why are the heads being brought in here? That's no way to get a head. No, I'm not, it turns out. This one should be attaching heads. So, I thought I'd gone along here and I'd done everything in sort of, you know, a logical order, just following it down the thingamawhat's-it. Oh, no, that's weld head. I didn't want weld head, I wanted attach head. Apparently not, though. So we've got those there. You're okay. You are not okay, because you're the one that's trying to do the heads. So what have you actually got? Which one was it? Was it this one? No, you were okay. It was this one. This is the one that's trying to attach the heads. And it's got these going in. These are... That looks like legs to me. Okay, so what are you doing? Attach left leg, so this should be attached right leg. Then we get to here. Is this going to put the left leg on? Yes, it is. Then can we head them? Nice. Right, okay, the rest of it is probably going to be fine, because it doesn't matter what order you do the welding in. Right, okay, good. So that's now fixed. We don't have an enormous number of the bits and pieces coming through here, though, which is a bit of a concern. Why is this so strugular? Oh, it's struggling because we've overloaded the belt here. So if I do that, then I won't have enough space in my inventory. Oh, they're big items. Can I put some of them in here? Will you take some of these from me? No. Great. You know what? They're cheap. But I thought this was supposed to not jam, and the other ones haven't jammed as far as I'm aware. So I don't know why this one has. Have I not set the priorities? I've not set the input priorities. That's the problem. There we go. That's why. Okay. Confusion solved. So if we have the priorities set, it should be alright. But because I didn't set the priorities, it was horrible. So let's keep an eye on this and make sure this sort of pulls through as it goes. Yeah, there we go. That's now starting to work as it should. We need to pull. It needs to pull quite a lot more through, but it is going in the right direction. Dope. I'm not putting any watch in storage for workstations. No, I'm not. I haven't really used the workstations very much. I'm just building, getting things up and running, and then I've put in a couple of workstations in a few places, but basically I've not really used them. There we go. Now it's running nicely. So you can see there's a nice spray of pistons coming through. The whole thing is basically the middle part of the belt is flowing constantly, and that's what we like to see. That's what's supposed to be happening. So yeah, that seems to be okay. Phew. And that should mean we're now going to be able to produce these things. And yes, there they go, into the spaceport to be stored, ready to be shipped up to the station. Good. So the next question is, how are we doing for those pistons? Are the pistons being made fast enough to keep everything running? And it looks like they are at this point, actually. Now we have all of that extra steel coming in. This is enough machines to keep the piston supply pistoning. It's going nicely. So, phew, and thank goodness for that. And yes, happy with that. And I think this is a good point to call the end of the stream, to be honest, because it is nearly midnight and I'm still slightly ill. So, right, let's start wrapping up. So I think this has gone well. So my original plan for today was to check on the steel, and no, my main first plan was to try and get the copper up and running a bit more. Improve the copper, because as we saw, the copper was all getting turned into electronic components along there, and we just didn't have enough of it being brought through. So yes, it made perfect sense to then start making all the electronic components down where the copper was and shipping them over as electronic components, because then you can fit twice as much onto a belt, because it takes 2 pieces of copper to make 1 electronic component. Great. So did that. That's working nicely, and also having an extra belt bringing them over just means there's a lot more capacity, and because it's a blue belt means again a lot more capacity. So that's taken all of the pressure off the belts bringing the copper through, and we seem to still have enough copper coming out of the mine over here, which I feel is quite impressive. So then we discovered. Then I put these robots together down here. Played with the sushi for a little while, much to everyone's disgust, and then went over to and then realised that there was no steel or insufficient steel. So I've tripled this production over here, and then put in a blue belt all the way down to get a bit more of that flowing through. And including getting more iron ore out from this patch over here as well. So now things seem to be okay. Let's have a quick look at the bus. And see if there's going to be anything on here that's an emergency to do for next time. No, all of these seem to be running in the sort of the stuttery, gradual way that I like to see, because it means that we have enough of things. The electronic components are still running very, very quickly, but there is enough. Also, similarly with robots, should we give them a quick check before we finish? There's still a shortage of spaceship fuel, but I've decided I sort of don't care about that. Enough of those robots, and those ones. Yes. And plenty of construction material because I'm not really using it. Yes. Yes, I'm basing this simply on whether the belts are full for loading up the spaceship, the spaceship landing pads. This one may or may not be. I don't care about this one so much because it's only just started. These three, they're being produced at a rate, so this seems to be fairly good. Yes, I did go and get that blue belt. Thank you for the reminder, though. That is the sort of thing that I would be quite likely to forget. So I do appreciate the reminder. Right, let's stand over here and let's have a quick look at the space station before I finish, and just check on all of the robots that are being brought up and how the sales are going for those. Now, it's maybe a bad time to look when I've just gone in and improved my improved supply of stuff. So for the transport drones, for example, they're picking up quite nicely, but they haven't had a chance yet to flatten out. So I should really look after a couple more. A few in-game days have passed just to make sure that everything is okay. But the rest of them, mining drones seem to have picked up, but not to quite the level they were at before. Planter drones, yeah, that's okay. Science assistant drones, again, you can see that picking back up again, and hopefully now it's going to be up to full speed. But we'll need to check back later. Operator robots, Bing just started being sold. Farmer robots, yeah. So this is all looking promising. I don't see any really strong warning signs in here, but I do want to come back and check on things like this. All the ones that are doing this sort of thing, check and make sure those are starting to pick up correctly. So maybe next time I'll do the last couple of robots, or maybe I'll go in and start doing all the watery ones, the hydro marine type bots, because I need to make the basic marine casings for those in order to get that working, and then I can swoop in and make all of those. So that should be quite nice. Profits are nice and positive, so that's a good sign. How am I doing on the board? I'm still I'm still in a third from the bottom, so bit of a nudge upwards there, but still quite a long way to go. The fact that I've started making the operator bots means I could probably go out and start trying to sell to more places and so on, but we'll worry about that another time. I think that's not something I want to play with at the moment. So product category, start making robots, great. Looking in the sales platform, I should enable sales of the operator robot like that, as long as we have at least 200 of them. There we go. And we can look at the storage as well, and we can see that we have quantities of bots. Most of those seem to be suitably large numbers. We're a bit short on the actual robots. Those we could do with making a bit faster, so that might be something to look at another time. And yeah, mining drones, we seem to have a shortage of those, but maybe I don't know what goes into them. Maybe there's something expensive. In fact, let's have a quick look. Mining drones is that one. Well, it takes steel and hover engines. Maybe that was and advanced machinery part. It takes steel in lots and lots of ways, in lots of different forms. But it might just be I've run out of ships doing the ground to air thing again, because there's. When did I make mining drones? More recently than, yeah, a lot more recently. Fairly recently, in fact. Okay, they were apparently quite a late one on. I suppose if they got hover things, then I would do them relatively late. Nope, can't find them. I don't think it matters. I don't really care. I said I wanted to end the stream, and I meant it. So there will be videos coming out tomorrow and Friday. They are both going to be, well, if you're a non-supporter, then you'll see Factorio videos tomorrow and Friday. If you are a supporter, then I'm going to be doing the official proper release of that car video that you saw on early access earlier in the week. So that's going to officially go out at the end of this week, and there will also be a new Factorio video as well. So please make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of that. I'll be back on Monday at 7:30 PM with the other guys to play some more Planetary Pioneers as normal. However, next week will be the last streams for a little while because, well, I'm taking the week after off because I'm going to be on holiday. So there'll be streams next week, but not the week after that. So that includes next Wednesday when there will be another Foundry stream where I shall, as I say, get some more robots up and running and you know, move forwards a bit with all the stuff that's going on at the moment. So that's going quite nicely. And then, of course, more videos, yada, yada, yada. So please make sure you're following and so on. I'm glad you found it. I'm glad it's been fun, Board Easy. Which parts have you been frustrating? Perhaps I don't know whether I should ask. Is it just me doing daft things, or is it the game doing daft things? It could go either way, I guess. So yeah, good night, Regular. Good night, Gims. Good night, Board Easy. I shall catch you later. If you're watching on Twitch, please stick around because we'll go off and find someone to raid. See if I can find anyone who's actually playing Foundry. And if you're on YouTube, well, once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Oh, tech issues with Twitch. Okay, yeah, that's beyond my control, sadly, so there's probably not a great deal I can do about that. But thank you for sticking around and doing your best and trying to still be here nonetheless, even if things were a little bit difficult. Category Foundry. That one. Is anybody playing Foundry on all of Twitch? Nobody is playing Foundry. How disappointing. Okay, what about anyone I'm following? Nobody's playing anything particularly related, so but Cyclomatic is playing Minecraft, so we'll drop in on him and yeah, give you something else to watch. He seems to be mining at the moment, so let's drop in there and find out what's going on. Right, once again, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you on Monday, and also in the videos as they come out over the weekend, running up to the weekend as well. Bye bye.